Hello, everybody! Welcome to the Astropub. My name is Paul, Berserker01, Batman Shelley. I'm your humble host and space bartender this evening. This is The Captain's Table, a podcast in which I take members of the community from all over Star Citizen and talk about latest in Star Citizen news, theory crafting, space hookers and blow, whatever the hell we come up with. So we just kind of go off topic if you guys haven't seen this before. I'm gonna go around the room and introduce people, and then we'll talk about what you guys have been doing, and then we'll move right into the discussion. At the top, we've got Geo of Geo Get Money.
Hello.
Next to him, we have Z-Man, Commander Z-Man, of Test Gaming, and then we've got
Greetings.
Below him, we have Terrellian, a Cry engineer.
Did you say below him?
Below him.
Below him?
Next to Terrellian, we have the ever lovable, ever laughable, ever honest, ever awesome gray-headed gamer.
Me? Hey.
Whose nickname is now Lumberjack Gamer, because he just finished cutting down a tree, which is why we're a little bit late.
He likes managing wood.
I
love large wood.
And last but certainly not least, we have back from the dead, the Nubifier.
Almost, right? Good to see everyone.
So does anyone have anything they want to talk about, that's been going on with them?
Let's not talk about trees or wood, if you don't mind.
We can go around. Geo, do you have anything?
You know, if working in a 100-degree factory sounds fun to you guys, I could talk to you guys about that.
How about Star Citizen related?
I've been trying to play 2.4. I can't deal with the crashing, so I've been kind of laying off.
Yeah. How about you, Z-Man?
Putting out fires, saving lives, killing pirates, vandals, doing stuff. Fun.
You've been streaming more often, right? I've been seeing you on the
Yeah, Monday through Friday, 12:30 till 2 Eastern time every day.
And Terrellian, you got any projects you're working on? You're still working on Omega Team?
Yeah, still hard at work on Omega Team. Managed to break my my CPU fan. So things are going well. Rendering, setting everything on fire, but we're getting there. Been setting up streams, that kind of stuff.
Your computer could be infested.
It could be worse. That's my motto.
Your
it could be worse.
Could be infested with drop bears. You are.
It could. It probably is. Let's be honest here.
Gray, other than your manliness, is there anything else that's been going on? Are you doing a Not So Sober Saturday tonight?
Yes, and I'm going to have Paul Berserker Shelley on, and we're going to talk about things and stuff, aren't we?
Yeah, exactly. That's what we're going to do.
That guy's a cool guy.
Yes, so make sure everyone shows up tonight, Not So Sober Saturday. Berserker's going to save my ass. I don't have a guest.
So I'll be there.
So he is going to be the man to back me up.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to talk about bulkheads and this stuff that's happening on the internet that I haven't got to even see yet. Something about a Germans thing.
Mm-hmm. We'll talk a little about here, and then we'll go more in depth later. The Nubifier. Keep it as brief as possible, because I know you've been a long time.
Okay, so basically I moved, and that through the whole summer, threw everything out. But so I got the Dead Room project. If anyone's tracking that, that's done. I'm in it right now, and you can see it behind. Which is super cool. There's a video coming about that. Dual Warthog project. I wanted to run dual Warthogs left-handed. Needs to be confirmed or converted, I should say. And through Reddit, found a person who had one. He's building me a prototype. He's going to send it. I'm going to review it. I'm going to make a video on that, and then hopefully give everyone access to him so that they can get their own. Vasco came out like 6 hours ago at BritainCon, which is a new voice pack from HCS, which we're going to give away today.
Mm-hmm.
And
it's the only place you can get it other than...
Exactly, it's the first one.
So it's the
and then What is Star Citizen? 3 minutes and 46 seconds. That was a fun video to make. Updated weapons and hardpoints, and I did size 4 weapons. But because of the construction and everything, I've been a little bit out of it. And honestly, like we discussed earlier, 2.4 has been such a long time ago that it's kind of repetitive, and I'm really waiting for 2.5.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah. Lots of news with this kind of stuff. So
because we're doing this
giveaway, you said it's how do you spell that again? Vasco?
Vasco.
Vasco. Alrighty. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to start this raffle. If you, it's a keyword, so all you have to do is exclamation point HCS. This is from Voice Attack and HCS, so you get both Voice Attack and the HCS profile, courtesy of HES and Voice Attack. So
Right.
while this is not a sponsored stream from them, this is a giveaway sponsored by them. So just want to make sure that everyone knew that. Not by any of us. But they've been big supporters of the space game genre in the last several years, and it's really been kind of kicking off. So it's kudos to them. Alrighty, so
Love that new voice.
The first topic of discussion is, of course, the bomb that was dropped on all of us this morning. Well, for me this morning, I guess it was kind of late in the evening for you, Terrellian, and I guess middle of the afternoon for most of you in Europe. But the German PC preview, which is going to be hitting shelves, I believe, Wednesday, and the article is digital now for digital subscribers, and then it'll be in the store shelves and Wednesday for everybody else. PC, I think it's PC. It's German's version of PC Gamer. I can't remember exactly what it is. It's called PC Gamer Extended or something.
PC Games, I think.
PC
Games.
PC Games. It's I'll give you the very brief overview because I know not everyone has been a chance to get through this. But essentially, from what I've seen from Reddit, people translating and all that kind of stuff, the game is progressing. 2.7 is going to have all of the Stanton system in it. Not all of the landing zones, but it will have all of the Stanton system in it, which is Microtech, Hurston, Arcor, and Crusader. And at the end of the day, they're hoping for about 40 landing zones in Stanton alone. There will also, with 2.7, will come cargo and trading mechanics. And with 2.6, they're releasing Star Marine.
Boom.
Is all this confirmed?
This is all confirmed. This is all from
Yep.
a legitimate source from CIG. These guys went to the CIG offices, and this is just an info dump that they gave them. They played the game at the Franklin office. Yeah, welcome to my morning, Gray.
Wait, 2.6 we get Star Marine?
Star Marine.
That's their
Yeah,
confirmed.
that's what you lose when you're out cutting trees.
Yeah.
Oh, God, I
Don't get the
hate
news you need.
So, yeah, lots of interesting stuff coming down the pipe. This is all.
This
the
is what
stuff that's
bothers
been
me.
posted.
Why did it take a magazine for us to hear this information?
Honestly,
I mean,
I could.
I wish we would have been heard this.
This is a good question for anybody who wants to answer it. But I think I can start us off with publicity. It gets more faces, more eyes if it goes into an official press release, like a press actual the press talks about it, than it does if CIG talks about it. CIG talks about it, then people will be like,
But they could have got both. They could have told us and put it on.
I agree with Gio.
Everything is soon. I understand because so many people then backlash when they say something like, "Oh, you said this," so now everything is soon. So I don't know. I just wish they would have told us ahead of time some of this stuff. So that leaked the magazine and no one even reads magazines anymore.
Right, and we feel like like owners. We feel like family. They go and tell a magazine and not us first, or at least release it at the same time for us and the magazine. That does kind of hurt my feelings.
Our hearts are shattered.
Maybe this was their way of releasing it, though. Maybe this. I know what you mean, Gray, and that totally makes sense. But maybe they just wanted to put it out one shot and let someone else, an actual reporter, report on it instead of CIG. I know that's maybe weird, but maybe it brings more credibility to those people that aren't citizens already, right? Other people are going to see this and they're going to go, "Holy crap, this game has really progressed." And I'm not saying that they should forget about us, but I want them to focus. I'm already a citizen. I'm already invested in the game, and I'm going to be happy no matter what. But to pull more people in, that's what we need. We need legit reporters like games, magazines, and stuff like that to push this out. So I'm indifferent about the whole thing, really.
And the thing is that
CIG knows they got us already, so they're not gonna.
Right, exactly.
That's true. We're not going nowhere.
This is a publicity thing. Like think about it this way: if CIG says it, in the internet magazine, the internet's news reporters will be like, CIG said it. Do we trust CIG? I mean, yeah, they release these pictures, but really, is it doctored? But if it's Gio got food,
I have not seen that man that happy in a long time.
Oh my god!
Welcome to Social Eating Stream, the
Dinner
Astro
for life.
You'll get food.
But if it's released through a gaming press, like the game press is putting their reputation on the line. So it's more likely people are more likely to trust that it's real, and B, it's also like a tradition in Germany. Like they've done this with GameStar before, where they release it to GameStar before a big event, and it's also a German magazine right before Gamescom comes out. And where's Gamescom? Germany.
Right around the corner in Germany.
So
with a
totally
show,
makes sense.
it makes sense with shows.
Yeah.
Magazines are just so, just historic. They just old. You know what I'm saying? Like
they are old, but I think they're still pretty big in Germany, which is the reason why they did it.
I'm old.
I think dropping procedural planets is a huge bombshell. That's like a massive thing. I mean, we just had the 100th ATV just fly by. That would have been a great place to put it. But somewhere where I think, exactly what Gio was saying, where more people are going to see it, I don't think as many as we'd expect would see it in a magazine. Like, even we, as backers, were kind of shocked. Like, hang on, where'd this come from?
Well, everyone knows this is going to get picked up by the game press and be sent everywhere.
It's all over Reddit already. Like, it's out. No matter what the medium. So, big deal, it took an hour to hit mainstream instead of 30 seconds. It's still out. And I don't think it's...
That's true, yeah.
My point is a little different, though. Yeah, we're going to get the information just as fast as anybody else, but we just had 4 amazing ATVs. It is my personal opinion that we should have got a little piece of everything that's in that article on each of the ATVs, because that's our show. This is our game. And then once it's all released on our shows, then put in give them the magazine article and all like that. No, I'm not mad. I'm just glad to get that information, period, from just the 1 minute blurb I got from Berserker. I'm freaking ecstatic. Yeah. But there again, we go through these like we did Frankfurt, and we knew we weren't going to get procedural planets in the Frankfurt ATV. They've already said that. Lando even reiterated that on RTV. But now you're telling me that a couple days later, a magazine article comes out, and I'm looking at the pictures right now. The freaking procedural planets look amazing, and you're telling me they couldn't just drop a few little bits of that in? I don't know. I'm heartbroken.
I thought it was getting like the procedural stuff was even saved for Gamescom, like not even for this magazine. That's what I was under the impression of. So no, that's why I was really shocked with that too.
I don't know when this magazine went and talked to CIG Frankfurt. I'm assuming that they did it a while ago, because generally speaking, this kind of stuff, it's a big article. It's like their main run article. So usually those things take some time, and it was multiple authors going there and talking to them.
Cover story.
It's a cover story, yeah. So it's
deliberate.
And here's the other thing that we're going to have to understand as backers of this, is that at the end of the day, what's going to be important for CIG from starting probably about now until the release of the game is getting as much press hype as possible, because press hype is free advertising. As much as we are advertising, all of us, or content creators, we all advertise the games through our own mediums, we can only reach so far. They're going to have to go into traditional mediums, and they don't want to spend a ton of money on advertising because it's not as effective as gaming press and us. So they're going to do their best to try to limit the traditional marketing to very targeted places, and then and press need exclusives. If you give
and
them
that's very smart. It's very smart.
See, but this is my thing. For something like that exclusive story, I would rather them had thrown some Squadron 42 stuff in there, because that would have made more sense to the general audience. Oh, so it wasn't there some.
It wasn't just but they had new renders of like Squadron 42, and they talked a little bit about Squadron 42.
Because all that stuff getting released, like for a person who doesn't really pay attention like us, like you got to be a diehard to understand some of that stuff that's coming in 2.6, 2.7, like keep up with it weekly like we do. People are gonna be reading like, okay, what the fuck's going on? They're just now doing this, that, and the third. Like, it just doesn't make sense on that format. That's what I'm getting at. So, I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I understand it. I understand completely what they were doing, and it has a lot to do with trying to garner some goodwill with the press and release information and get the hype train rolling for Gamescom. Because we're probably also we've already been getting drip-fed some information that was already in the article at BritisonCon. There were some discussions and stuff like that where they've talked about what's going on at BritisonCon.
Right, and people like Board Gamer. I mean, he's busy, and Super Mac Brothers. Those guys are going to tear this apart and put it back at the community. So again, it's kind of irrelevant to me who actually got it. And you said it earlier, the best. it makes sense. They're trying to get on, not necessarily into bed or on good side with, but they're giving this magazine, who is in Germany, a very, very big story, and they're going to roll with it. And it's right before a big convention, and it's kind of like, a tailgater party at a football game. It's like a warm up, right? So this is fine. I don't see any negativity about it. And yeah, okay, it would have been nice to have seen it on ATV, but they're probably going to talk about it on ATV next week, or now that they've changed ATV. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sorry.
I'm still gonna break up with Chris.
The long walk
He's
on
going
the beach
to
with
turn
Chris
from
Roberts.
the light of Christ Roberts.
It does feel like we.
Oh.
That's it. That's what we.
There we go. I don't know what just happened there.
Your audio's dropping out, Gio.
It's the proximity to dinner.
Yeah, your audio's going off a little bit.
How about now?
Good.
Well,
Oh, how about now?
there you go.
Yep.
You're good.
You're good.
People are saying you're really loud, so I'm moving your volume down.
Oh,
just a
see,
little
I
bit.
turned. See, I was turning it down while you were.
You're
Nope, we got it again.
Cutting
He's
in and
gone.
out.
Turned down for what?
Try now, Gio.
Oh, hello.
Good. Yeah, it's
Yep.
probably more of a proximity thing. So
Where were we?
we were talking about
A breakup over.
breaking up over Chris Roberts.
Great.
He's going to turn
Great.
from the light that is Christ Roberts.
I'm gonna go play LOD. Fuck it.
You know what? Matter of fact, I want a refund. Obviously, that's the cool.
Oh,
thing. So
that's right.
all my ships, all my rovers, I want.
So, quick question with you guys. Just a question about this. Yes, the hype is real, but do you think this ambitious, and I'm not saying ambitious because it's ambitious, but just in terms of like the time we have left, having all of Stanton, having Star Marine, having trading and stuff with the mechanics, do you think they'll slip by?
Slip by as in.
Like those dates will slip by. Like, do you think we'll actually get all of this stuff at the end of the year?
No, I think they're doing
Yes.
a lot more in the background that we don't know about. A whole bunch in the background.
Well, the magazine is proof of that, actually.
They played
Yeah.
it.
You remember last year we had no idea, and then the poof, a saber, and then poof, a saber sail, and then poof, hanger. Like it was just, that was very well concealed. And it was at the same time as a big convention, Pandelirium, and it's generated all the hype that it needed to. And it's probably, I'm sorry to say, but like I've become used to this type of nothing, and then boom, baby persistent universe. Because that was last year, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Right? And then the year before was ArcCorp.
I think the lesson
thing.
is that summer is bad time for Star Citizen. Like, in general, the last two summers have been terrible for Star
Well, to
Citizen.
be honest, a lot of games, it goes dead.
All right, so
games-
you're breaking up really bad. I don't know if it's probably your mic pickup. If you can decrease your pitch, your voice activated pitch on Discord, that'll probably help. So it makes it easier for us to hear you.
How about that?
He's about to
There we
say,
go.
fuck it, I'm going to eat my Chinese food.
I'm gonna get my Chinese food, social eating, baby.
Yeah. Okay. There we go. Good.
Actually, when you're coming back to that point about whether, like, where exactly they released the content, whether it was in a magazine or whether they should have put it on ATV, I think doing it, just having the press come and do it themselves, really is a proof of concept that it's not just smoke and mirrors. This actually is content that they've put in the hands of the press, so they can actually play it, and I guess that makes it more, not trustworthy, but more believable. Like, yes, this is going to be soon.
For
very
people
soon.
outside the community.
Yeah, less bias.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly.
These are people who
Hey,
know
hey.
about it, but don't necessarily know about it.
How much you guys remember the B-2 bomber?
Mm-hmm.
Do I?
How much? Do you remember how hyped that was in the press?
Yes.
How much do you know about the B-3 bomber?
I know very little. I seen on Broken Arrow. That was the only time I seen.
So there you go. So everything that they let you know, there's always going to be underground stuff going on, and it's how they choose to release it is really regardless. We're going to get the information one way or another. Let their marketing do their job, and that's where I stand. I think it's cool we got the information regardless of how we got it.
I'm
Well,
excited.
we definitely know they're months ahead from last year leak. we knew they were months ahead of stuff I was seeing. I was amazed, like, oh, okay, they got the Vanduul ships, and that's why some of our ships at the time weren't getting fixed.
Yeah, months to a year. So
yeah. That's why I think this stuff will come out. The only thing I'm really kind of weary about is the procedural stuff. I think everything else is doable this year.
Well, they're supposed to have Squadron 42, right? They're supposed to have Squadron 42 by December. So
I don't know if I see that happening, really.
Well, Xylo said
that's the timeline that they're going for. So I guess what I'm trying to say is with Geo's like, well, they're months in advance, and I say I believe it because they need to throw a fire on it. Yes, they can miss the deadline, but if they miss the deadline and say it'll be out in a month, or we got a functional copy of it now and we're going to release it in a month, you know what I mean?
It'll be out. I have strong faith like that. There is so much going on behind the scenes that they are not even giving you an inkling of a clue.
There's pressure on. Everyone's watching. There's so much back and forth BS about the trolley guys and everything like that it's almost like if they need to go hire 10 other people to make one ship a week earlier, I think they would do it. I think that's that the appetite is there to get this sorted out. So
I feel that Squadron 42 needs to be released this year because I think things are going to get real out of hand with the press. They're going to say, oh, it's going to be, 4 or 5 years this year? 4th year or 5th year?
5th year.
2012, yeah.
So it'll be the 5th year, even though we know how the timeline is and how stuff and what studios started after what, to the main general people, they're going to say, oh, yeah, you guys still have nothing to show for but attack them or all the trolls. So I think Squadron 42 has to be released this year, no later than Q1 of 2017.
I think what they may have to do, and I don't think they've planned on this, but what they may have to do at the very bare minimum is do a Hitman, how Hitman did it, where they released like a couple of missions at a time, and then they eventually had all of the stuff. But it was all you pay for it once, and you just they drip feed it to you over time.
I don't know if that would work with the style of Squadron 42. That continuous sort of,
I don't see Chris
to be
doing
continued, right?
I did actually see a really good post a while ago. I really wish I could find it. They basically said that we all know it's not unusual for Star Citizen to miss a release date. That's kind of
Wait, Star Citizen miss release dates? No.
Yeah, but that wouldn't be shocking.
When did this happen?
If they missed the 2016 release date, no one would be ridiculously shocked. We'd be disappointed, there'd be drama, whatever else, but it's part of the course. But if they released a product that is incomplete, that would be a massacre.
Yeah, that's a problem. The biggest issue, I think, is not necessarily, and I personally think that the game will be done by 2016. The issue is not, is the game done? The issue is it bug fixed? Is it?
You mean Squadron 42?
Squadron 42, not Star Citizen. Squadron 42. Because, as Xylo said on Reverse the Verse, that he has, as QA, he played every single mission of Squadron 42. Now, missions have changed. They probably added and removed things as he's gone along. And when he's played every single mission, I'm sure he means is that I have gone from point A to point D in every single mission of Squadron 42 and completed it. Now, were there placeholders? Were there placeholders for everything? And maybe some things didn't work and cutscenes were maybe not even gray boxed or just kind of insert cutscene here stuff? Sure. I'm sure that's what he was meant to say. But so it's still work to get done, but it is in a state of where they know what it's supposed to look like. So I have no doubt that Squadron 42 as a game will be completed to complete. Like you could play it from beginning to end, see all the cutscenes, have everything normal, but the issue is bug fixing. Is there any bugs that need to be fixed before that? I don't know if they have enough time for it, and I think that's the big issue for CIG, and that's one of the things they're going to have to decide. Do we release it in 2016 and just do bug fixing later in 2017? And just
I think Squadron 42 is going to have like a cram.
That would break the whole game. People would go buy it. They would see this is a piece of shit, and they would never touch it again.
Yeah, they would see it's a Unity, and they wouldn't.
I would rather it come out a year from now than come out broken.
Unity was a great game because I only played it way after all the bug fixes were in place. I had a brilliant time playing.
We actually have CIG staff in the room. Hi, Proxys.
But yeah, it's I don't know. I reckon Squadron 42 is one of those games where you cannot fix it later. It's got so much, just a continuous story, impacts on the environment and such that it wouldn't feel right if you had to come back to it later.
Yeah, I mean, I understand minor bug fixes and stuff like that. Maybe even having it go gold and like maybe like those of us who are going to CitizenCon be able to play some of the missions and have it be going gold by CitizenCon and having it released in December. I understand that with you're sitting down and being like, all right, the entire team just can do bug fixing for this for a month, which may make sense or something like that. But that's the thing. I think that's the big key that most reasonable people who are talking about is Star Citizen or is Squadron 42 going to make the 2016 deadline? Is it going to make the deadline and be buggy, or are they going to delay it till 2017 to fix all of the stuff and get everything ready to the polish they want it to, and release it in the early 2017s? Because I don't think anyone reasonably will believe that that Squadron 42 will be delayed forever. I mean, they've been working on this for since 2013. Seriously, they've had Foundry 42 working on it almost exclusively for almost 3 years.
You look at a single-player game, most single-player games don't take that long. I know they're trying new stuff and got new technology and stuff, but 4 years for, a single-player is a long time. And it's only, 40 hours, I think, or something like that?
20 hours, 40 hours max if you do all the side missions.
Yeah, but we didn't get traction for the first year and a bit. Like, you remember a couple of years ago, you had just Hangar, right?
Yeah, and like I said,
they were building a company.
Hangar was broken down, like 32-bit back to 64, and it was all screwed, and that had to get unscrewed. Yes, it's been 4 years, but you can't assess it based on that. It's been day 1 to 4 years of just focusing on that. Yes, all the little stuff had to have been done before. Now we have traction. Now we have the staff, and by I'm obviously not me. CIG has way more staff than even last year. That video that they played at CitizenCon last year. Remember how they were talking about like 2 people, 5 people, and went up to like hundreds of people. So this year has to be even more. I'm actually really curious to see if they'd make a video like that this year, because it was actually really informative. And I think it was value added to the community. It's something that I could show other people, like, this is what I'm talking about, right? And that's as a content creator and as a Star Citizen, that's the one thing that I try to do the most, is get other people fully informed because it's a difficult game to, it's Call of Duty, but it's Warcraft, and it's like a space sim, like everyone knows it's difficult to explain easily. So that was actually really helpful. And rant.
No, but I completely agree with you that'd be helpful. And one of the things that actually, I think someone on Reddit was quoting this, but Aaron Roberts actually made a kind of timeline of his own participation in Star Citizen. And he essentially said, and I think a lot of people in CIG have said, that they really started working with Foundry 42 in the summer or spring of 2013. Maybe even late 2013, because that's when they were brought on board.
Makes sense.
Well, and so if that was the case, then it's been 3 years since they really started working on Squadron 42. Now, they did some work mission stuff before that, and of course they did a lot of the back end stuff. So that would still be about 2 to 4 years in terms of a timeline. And we also talking about the guys who made the Lego games. Like, Aaron brought a lot of the guys who made the Lego games on, and you know how quickly they were able to turn around those Lego games, and a lot of those Lego games were open world and really well done. And
Squadron 42 was teeny, and then again, same thing as Persistent Universe. As those stretch goals hit, it went from 10 missions to 20 missions, and now you're a fighter jock and you can do other things. So I mean,
and it originally was just kind of like Wing Commander style. I'm going to go do a mission, and then just
now it's what,
missions.
3 episodes.
It's an open world. 3 episode open world. So semi-open world.
It definitely blew up. It grew up, I should say.
Yeah. And the good thing too, we got to remember, is the network code is not going to affect Squadron 42, because a lot of people are saying, they're going to release it, but at 20 FPS it's going to suck. I run 90 FPS in Arena Commander, and because you're not running it, you don't have to worry about the network code. You're still running multiplayer, but it's not the same as the Persistent Universe. So that's one thing people don't need to be concerned about, is the crappy FPS we have right now in the PU is just because of network code. Squadron 42 is going to run on its own. It'll run as good as your computer can run it.
So this is a good segue, though, because you guys had mentioned 2.6, we're going to get Star Marine, right? So how much, I guess I pose it to the panel, we're going off of an old engine or an old netcode, I get it. How advanced do you hypothesize, if they're talking about launching Star Marine at 2.6, we accept the fact that Star Marine has to be solid. It has to be playable because all of the FPS players that are waiting for that to come out to make their assessment on whether or not they're going to play the game, basically Star Marine has to be solid. It has to be solid straight away. And again, if they're proposing to launch it on 2.6, that to me, I'm reading into that saying netcode has to be addressed.
Nope, because Arena Commander. Look at Arena Commander. It's just like Arena Commander, but with FPS. It runs separately from the persistent universe. So it's going to be what they need to make sure is the locomotion and the animations and all that have to be spot on,
top notch. It has to be like the game. That piece of the game is just as much as a deciding factor as Arena Commander was originally. So. And I never even considered that. Great, that's actually really cool. It has nothing to do with persistent universe and the netcode versus the netcode, right? The data isn't. Yeah, no, the data requirement's not there.
The requirement all you need to do, and this is my, they've not talked about this, but this is my assumption, is you'll need to log into your account on a separate launcher from Star Citizen. That will be the Squadron 42 launcher, and it will need to be like, all right, so you log into your account, we know it's you, so we verified it's you.
Tracking purposes.
That's it. Yeah, just tracking purposes to make sure that people aren't stealing.
Totally makes sense.
People will obviously circumnavigate that thing pretty easily eventually, and that's just the way of PC games. It happens.
So, do you think that everyone is waiting? And I know this is a reckless way to think, but do you think that they're saying, well, in 2 years, it'll fix itself. Everyone will be on 10 gigabit network, and everyone's computer will be super fast. Will be fine. Do you think that's actually a plan? Do you think that can be a plan?
As an Australian, that will crush me.
Honestly, there was some, I think Board Gamer talked about this, about how they're using the basic bottom level server technology that's available right now for them. The absolute worst servers possible is what they're using. And the reason why they're doing that is specifically because they want to make sure that
they can get better.
Yeah, they can get better. So if they can if they can make it run decent on these bad servers, they can spend the more expensive servers for the game when it's released, and it'll still be able to run 10 times better and 10 times faster because they were able to optimize it for the shitty server.
And we have crap. We don't have any optimization yet, too. Yeah. So
no optimization. The code is crap, and they're trying to fix that with 2.7. And apparently, in the article, they said that in the developer mode, they were getting about 100 FPS, but in actual gameplay of 2.7, I'm sure this was offline, but it might have been up online. They said they were getting a solid 45 frames per second. So
actually, just to quote the article, or not to quote the article, but to quote someone who quoted the article. Yeah, they said 2.6 will launch Star Marine as a separate module, just like Arena Commander, blah, 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 blah. And they are saying it's much more polished on the FPS side and feels a lot better than the current rudimentary FPS in the PU. So it sounds like what they've tested hands-on is a lot better than what we've got. And whether that's because of the netcode has been... I mean, we know it's going to be improved for 2.7. But they might already be really achieving something with it if they're saying this.
Well, they've also said that they've got all new animations and the vaulting, and hopefully we're going to get sliding and stuff like that too. So that I'm sure that's all in there too.
Yeah, no. Xylo talked about the cover system in Reverse the Verse at one point. He said essentially what they're dealing with is that with the sliding and peaking and leaning and all that kind of stuff, all of that is linked into the cover system that they built in. So that what they're looking forward to is like they have to get the cover system in to make sure that all of that other stuff works. So it's just all of that may be working in game, but it's not working to the degree that they want to, because sliding is linked with leaning, and leaning may not be working right, or cover may not be working right, or vaulting might be not working right. All this stuff may not be working right, so that even though they have one section that's done, they may not be able to put it into the game because it's linked to all these other things. So
really interesting in how that's going to work in the localized physics grids. I mean, sliding around on a ship, on a constellation, I mean, already we do slip out of the ships quite a lot. You can't stand up in an Avenger. And I don't know.
How much of that is netcode problems, because a lot of the reasons why you're clicking through is because your server, the server is saying you're here, and your client's saying you're here, and so even though you think you're here, the server thinks you're here, and you just kind of
shear out of the ship.
And just shear out of the ship.
I would straight up say that is my that's probably my blocker for the game. As soon as that is solid and fixed and that can't happen anymore, you cannot fall out the ship. Because, I mean, we can just imagine the impact that would have on the game if that happened by launch for, MVP.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, once that's done, once that's fixed, once that's good to go, that's probably the point for me when I'm saying, yep, this is a game.
Yeah, a lot of people. I read an article about some guy. He was upset with Free Fly Weekend. It wasn't a good experience because of all the crashing and all the bugs. So
I don't. Yeah, that guy. That guy's kind of. He comes from not a very reputable news organization. Let's just say that.
Yeah, but I've even had a friend from work do the Free Fly, and the tutorial is busted as hell. But he was so overwhelmed with all our hotkeys and stuff.
It's gone.
Yeah, I know. But saying, with the tutorial turned off, he was absolutely overwhelmed with all our buttons and all. And then once he finally got into the PU, he said he got into his ship finally, but then he could never get back out. And
that's because Alt F really is an obscure key combination.
Alt and F.
Yeah, holding Alt F.
Yeah.
I know it's a safety measure, but
the one thing that I've seen a lot of people talk about is in the Free Fly Week is that they had no idea what they're doing, but the community was there to be like, hold Alt F. If you want to try out the multi-crew ships, hop into my multi-crew ship so you can fly around and that kind of stuff. There's a lot of people who commented like, it was buggy and shitty, but the community was good, and I was blown away by what you could do in the game already. So
yeah, and some streamers like Twerk and what the fuck Saurus are basically taking. I know. Put potty mouth, right?
Oh my god!
What the fuck? You can't fucking swear on the fucking stream. God damn it!
Not just to name the guys from Redacted, but I mean everyone's
Rated
doing
M for mature.
Exactly. It just got real. But I mean, those guys are going. Yeah, Gamble was doing it, like taking people from start to finish. And Meyer, super good. Pretty much every day he does the same thing. He's like takes you from start to finish. This is Arena Commander. This is this, and CIG couldn't pay people like Meyer enough to do that because what he's doing is like it's a catapulting, right? It's a carry-on effect, and it's very, very good. So even though we don't have a fuck-busted tutorial and all of the other stuff, the community, like you say, is going to pull together and make this a less painful experience because it's totally overwhelming. If you're used to like a console controller for every single thing, and now you're like, what do you mean like Alt F Q? Like your hand comes out like this.
Claw.
It
claw eject button.
Like, yeah. And it's even though you have like things like voice attack that help, and you could keybind your whole joystick to make sense for you, but that doesn't help the other guy who is trying to learn WASD and spacebar. So, anyways.
Yeah, and someone said, but what are they not watching streams? When I'm not talking about streamers, I'm talking about people in chat in their game telling them how to do it. Like
chat
it's
window.
Not just
having the chat window open by default was a great move.
Yeah,
seriously,
great move, especially for this free flight. And the one thing that I've been emphasizing, I think a lot of people have been emphasizing, is try the game out, and if you don't like it, you think it's too buggy, come back in the next free flight. Because next free flight's going to be in like fall or December, around CitizenCon, and you'll be able to see the changes between now and there, and then you can decide, there is progress being made. Because I had a lot of people who came in and said, I haven't played this game since 1.3. I'm like, welcome to the new universe.
So, warning on it.
No,
like I know people aren't stupid. I get it. On the launcher,
it's an alpha. Shit's
an alpha.
broken.
People know, right?
No, but it had same thing happened with DayZ, and people didn't like. This game is released for this shit.
Right, and you go into the forums.
Mr. Refund, that's what he was trying to argue on his thing. There wasn't enough information. I didn't get a chance to read the term of service. Never touched the alpha at all to even see the bugs. Still want a refund. There's enough stuff on there as an adult that you can see. And I actually listened to the interview. I know what made me listen to it. That's how bored I was at work. But he was saying how he kept buying chips, and it was like a kid in a toy store being immature with his money, and he kept buying chips and never touched the alpha. That type of immature stuff like that, I have no mercy for someone who does not do their research like I done and like you guys done who keep buying chips. That's just irresponsible and terrible.
You can't watch a video. There's no video that doesn't start out with, this is an alpha, this is it's a game in development. So sorry to cut you off.
No, the other thing that is, I think that's actually more of a problem with the game industry as a whole. And this is something that I've talked with several of my gaming friends about, people who work in the gaming industry as well. Is that really as a community, at large gaming community, we haven't really grown up, because one of the cornerstones of a good, healthy capitalist system is having informed consumers. Consumers have to inform themselves, and that's what content creators and other people are there to do. And having informed consumers means that they can choose which products are best for them. And it's not just a problem with Star Citizen. It happens with every single game. Look how many people get hyped on games, and then they buy it, and it turns out to be shit, and they get really burned about it. And they're like,
cough, The Division, cough.
Yeah, but they're going to do it again. They're just going to do it again. They're just going to keep consistently do it. They don't learn their lesson from like not looking up the game. And then
look at the Call of Duty crowd. They amaze me every year. Oh, it's good. They play for like 2 weeks. Oh, this game sucks. And then wait till the one that comes out next year. They keep buying the same bullshit, rehash bullshit every year.
Yeah, and so that's the thing is that it's a symptom of the game industry as a whole. It's not specific to Star Citizen.
Brutal circle.
So you think that EA learned from Battlefield 4? Do you think that Battlefield 1 is going to come out proper?
I think it's going to be. Oh yeah, no. Here's the one thing that I
Yeah.
would say.
Are you kidding? It has to come out. They would
Star Citizen,
fuck themselves.
Blizzard,
Totally.
and or CIG, Blizzard, and EA have learned the lessons. Blizzard, essentially, the PTU is very much a copy of what Blizzard does with WoW, with their persistent or their test realm, their persistent or their whatever it's called, and with
because Overwatch came out good.
Yeah,
right.
and
I've never
Yeah, it
heard
did.
anyone
That was-
say it's brokey.
And,
Yeah.
and the
That's
same
not a
thing
word.
with Battlefield 4.
Okay.
Battlefield 4, they basically came out with a similar concept so that they could test it out with players.
2 years later, though, and
So-
that's
so
the
I
problem.
I think that Gio brought up a good point on why we're now seeing Star Marine re-emerging, because Call of Duty is now going in space. So
Yeah,
Space of Duty.
Space. Yeah, I mean that is a
They
good thing.
definitely fucking ripped some Star Citizen, that's for sure.
Fucking Space of Duty.
Yeah, it's got LTI.
But I honestly think that's what they've learned the lesson. I think the having PTU and Evocati in general is going to help CIG in the long run, because I cannot think that the Evocati will not be called upon to playtest maybe not bug find, but playtest the campaign early on, maybe a couple of missions.
Would they?
Avocado.
The
I wonder if
Avocado.
they would.
Yeah, I think they definitely will have to. They need to get a lot of eyes on it. I feel bad for them for that. I want that to drop at least for myself. I want to be pure in virginity. I want to be
stream it,
100%.
Yeah,
I don't see them coming to community to test that part out.
I see maybe a couple of the episodes, like maybe or a couple of missions, like maybe the first couple of missions, so that they can try to get that first on a lock.
I don't want spoilers. I don't want to see it.
So
I want to
do you?
I know if they ask me to do
They've been
it.
waiting 4 years for it, right?
Yeah, I'm going to take a vacation, and I'm seriously going to black the room out, and I'm going to play until my ass goes numb.
Yeah,
Actually, I am curious about one thing. The Death of a Spaceman design document, that had a really cool concept that I liked. At the start, it said when you sign up and when you join the game, create your character, everything is in fiction.
Yeah.
Like you go through, you go to a bathroom, you create your character, you come out and you sign up for the military or go on your way. If you sign up for the military, you start Squadron 42. And I'm kind of wondering, from a Star Citizen perspective, how are you going to move into Squadron 42 if Squadron 42 is planned to come out before?
that whole thing has been completely removed. It's not the same.
Yeah,
Oh no!
that was very
surely not.
early concept.
Because the concept of Squadron 42 is that Squadron 42 is actually going to take place before the Persistent Universe. Like if the Persistent Universe, if the PU game launches in 2017, 2018, then it'll be in the inverse. The year will be 2947 or 2948, and Squadron 42, I believe, takes place in 2942. So
And
it
if you
takes
didn't
several
do-
years beforehand.
If you didn't
I'm
do Squadron
heartbroken.
42, then you're allowed to go straight to PU, but at a penalty, some like insignificant lower amount of money, or you know what I mean. You have to pay a tax to be able to fly, or
Yeah,
something
that's
like that.
not
You
the case
remember
either.
that? Oh, no?
Because they're
They've
two
changed
separate
that.
games. Originally, the idea was they were going to be coming out in the same bundle. Now they're completely
Okay.
two separate titles. So you don't even need Squadron 42 to play Star Citizen and vice
Oh,
versa.
that's right. Yeah,
But
they're
they're
releasing.
connected still by, like, if you do Squadron 42, you get extra credits and extra reputation for playing Squadron 42.
Isn't
And
that what I just
citizenship,
said?
right?
Citizenship, yeah.
Mm.
So yeah, it's kind
Still
of
let
one of those
down.
things. I like that idea though, Trillian. I really did like the idea
I
of
thought
going
it
to the
would've been
bathroom
cool,
and
just
doing
like
this
come
stuff.
out.
It was really immersive.
And then you write down your next of kin on the paper, and then when you
Yeah.
die, your next.
That was just a good idea.
Destroyed.
I'm
Chris,
sure
why would
it's
you
still-
do this to me?
That part maybe still.
I want a
Yeah,
refund.
yeah. I agree with you. Some of that's going to be still in there.
I think
Has to be.
the character creation screen has to be immersive in the sense that maybe
Yep.
you're in an
I've already
office
seen.
somewhere
Oh,
and do that.
no, I better not spoil anything.
Yeah.
Spoiler
I've
alert.
just seen a model for what you create your character in,
Yeah.
hidden in
Oh,
the
no.
files. Very interesting. Yeah,
Is it a
one
bake
other
shop?
thing.
Is it a bake shop?
Yes,
It's
it
a
is.
head shop. It's a head shop, so you can go
head
in there and you
shops.
get
You go
really,
in.
really high when you walk
The
down.
other thing,
Blast.
Death of the
you
Spaceman.
do a
Blast
line of
bombs.
space cocaine
Like
as you
the movie
walk
Face
out,
Off.
and- Yeah.
The loss of limbs and how they get replaced. That was the other thing that really drew me to the game. Was losing an arm if you get shot and you die from that kind of wound, and you get a cybernetic arm, or whether you get shot in the eye, you get a cybernetic eye. Whatever else happens, that was the other really cool thing that I was hyped for.
I
So
thought
it gives you a cost. There's a cost for sticking your head out around a corner, right? You
Yeah.
pick and choose your battles, literally. And again, it's super appealing. But at the same time, it has to be tempered with like the permadeath, one shot, one kill, back to loading screen. That's a pain in the ass. But the other one, I think there's a really good balance there with, obviously if you get some kind of traumatic thing, like you fly into the sun, you're dead, right? No one would complain about that. Like, where's my 9 lives? But for sure, you can't go through first-person shooter or boarding party, and it wouldn't be fun if you get to the last guy and he blows up a charge and evacuates the whole ship and you're dead. You might as well not even play the game. So I very much like the balance that was proposed, the way it seems to be going.
Yeah, no, and we'll still have some time. That's why they have beta and alpha. Like, we'll have some time to like mess around with it and that kind of stuff.
I like that they choose fun over realism. That's cool.
I mean, they still
Yeah.
have realism, but it's definitely a balance between fun and realism. It's making sure that the game works for what it works. So you're not going to let realism get in the way of immersion. And I think I've heard this argument before: is that there's a difference between realism and immersion. Immersion
Right.
is important because
Yeah, there is. Hey.
because it's important for you to be in the game and feel like you're in the world. Like, is WoW realistic? No, at all. Nothing about it is realistic.
Nope.
But is it immersive? Yeah, you can get lost in that world pretty easily. You can believe that you're fighting for these causes. And I think Star Citizen is going for that. Is this realistic? No, not at all. None of this concept is realistic in terms of future space flight and all that kind of stuff. And CIG has created said it like, no, this is not realistic. But
I kind of disagree on that one, Paul, because
Oh.
you can't say it's a sim. It's a sim if it's not realistic.
well,
right?
it's realistic in certain aspects. It's not
Well,
going to be
sound
like,
in
because if it was
space.
going to be actually realistic, we wouldn't have man-controlled fighters. We'd have drones. We'd have beyond the horizon fighting, where fights would take place, at stupid long distances, and they would be predetermined by like how well you can sneak up on your enemy and get the first shot off.
This kind of reminds me of the Back to the Future movies, where back then they expected the future to be like, we got flying skateboards in this year and stuff. And what if it's the same deal? What if they're just like humanity's really incompetent, as we often are, and we don't manage to get stuff like that over the course of 900 years?
Because we already have drones. We're already killing people with drones.
That's
So,
true.
I guess
But
that's
drones
Not
in
in space. Exactly.
We do have
What about like
drones.
radiation and all that stuff?
We actually do have 3
Uh-huh.
drones, space drones. The United States does that. They use the Air Force does that. They launch into. They're like mini shuttles. They launch.
Should I
into
be
I wouldn't be
Or-
shocked if there were drones in Star Citizen, some kind of deployable gadget.
I think they
They already
mentioned
got
that.
them.
Yeah,
They come and repair the ship. They come out like, whoop.
yeah. The little hover drones.
Oh yeah, those things. Cryastro too.
Matter of fact, those things got fans on them, don't they?
Yeah, right. How's it? Oh, dude, all the ships
Yeah, how
in the
does that
game
work?
have
Space
fans.
fans.
They're
Fuck
suck-
Yeah, I
Space
just
fans.
thought about that. Space fans.
We've gone
They all
back in
have
technology.
intakes, and let me tell you, as a turbine surgeon, those intakes aren't going to do smack in space. Just so you know.
They're sucking up nitrogen.
Oh,
Yes,
this sounds like
space.
it's gonna go on the forums.
They're
Confirmed.
sucking.
All right.
Right.
So
Here goes.
okay, guys, just so you know, none of us are actually CIG employees, but we will make completely factual statements about the game. Completely, you can go
No
on there
bullshit.
confirmed. We can talk about how Z-Man from CIG says that the turbines suck and that they're going to be removed from the game. And how
Well, turbines are supposed to
lumberjacking
suck.
is going to be. lumberjacking is going to be the next profession, a la Grey-Headed Gamer, and that Geo Get Money is actually confirmed that there is going to be Big Benny's delivery service, and he in fact
Chinese
is
food
designing it. You know,
Confirming now.
In a
You-
plastic
you-
bag.
so you just feel free to go post that in the forums right now. Completely confirmed. You heard it on the Captain's Table.
110%. Starmarine on Monday. I think
Yeah,
first.
Submarine on Monday. That's
Hashtag
100%.
soon.
So much confirmed. Going
But we
on.
are going to be moving over to the question and answer session here in a second, so we're going to keep talking. But if you guys have any questions for the cast, exclamation point questions in chat will let you do that. So go to that link and then ask those questions. Do not ask the question in chat because I don't have enough time to go through all of the questions in chat. We'll miss people and people get butthurt. So the best way to do it is to go onto that forum and look it up.
Chug.
Questions.
I'm a big rubber jug.
All right, that reminds me of continuity stuff. We're talking about what's realistic and what's fun. I heard this a lot. A lot of people have different perspectives on it. But bounty hunting, when you get captured, put into a jail cell, you're obviously not going to sit there for like hours on end. But you don't want to just instantly disappear once you put inside of a pod.
I have a great thing, like being able to like it'll
shoot.
fade out, and you wake up with your pod opening and you being in a processing center, and then
That was already explained. This
Yeah, but then what if your friends break you out of the pod?
they won't break you out of the pod. They'll break you out of the. There may be a timer that you. It's like a timer, like if you play Dead by Daylight, they have a timer sort of thing. They don't have a timer that counts down, but you kind of see stuff that happens, and then eventually your character gets killed and gets sent up to the crazy tree god or whatever the hell that is that you're trying to get murdered by.
Tree god.
I think that's what it'll have a kind of a timer, like you start getting like darker and darker, and you hear like your heartbeat slowing, and then eventually it'll cover you, and you'll be gone, and you'll.
I like what Fire just said in the chat. If you switch to an NPC, and there's two ways I could do it. I remember Chris was talking about like a jailbreak kind of mission. You could have it so you wake up like that, you're in a prison cell. But if your friends do bust you out, that NPC will stay with them, and you have the option to switch back to it instead of being in prison.
No. I think but here's the thing. It's like fade out. You're in prison, and in prison, you'll have missions to do in prison, and you can either serve your time, which will be a certain amount of time, or you can get broken out. And in prison, it'll be an experience that will be like regular gameplay, and it's a great way. And I can foresee it being you don't make any money, but you can earn reputation, either reputation as a pirate or reputation as a good standing citizen. You could be, all right, I'm going to go volunteer to be like You
could be a snitch.
Like you can go through like production, like stamp space license plates.
You could be a community manager.
Yeah. Or community security cyborg, whatever it is. But yeah, no. So like that kind of experience, because like one of the things in it's always talked about today, at least in America, is if you want to become a harder criminal, a better criminal, go to prison. If you're just a petty criminal and you want to get into bigger stuff, go to prison, because that's where you make connections with all the major criminal syndicates and mafias and gangs that exist.
Correct.
So,
I mean, our entire country is that. So
yeah. So I can see it being pretty cool, and I'd also love to see like a penal colony where you're just dumped off on a planet.
What?
Penis colony?
I just said a pedo
penile
colony.
Pedo.
A pedo colony, yeah.
Just say prison colony.
Zucker wants to live on a penile colony.
Prison.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, no, a
Detention
prison colony.
colony.
I'd love to have like a prison colony where you have like.
Or how about planet? A prison planet.
That's what I mean, like a prison planet. So like where you get dumped off, your pods just get ejected down, and just like good luck, kid. Maybe hopefully your friend
They
can
made a
come find
movie
you.
about that.
They
just dropped people on a continent
Geo.
and let them have at it.
Yeah, it's called
Just
Escape
like
from
that.
L.A.
Yeah.
Just like Chronicles
iPad.
of Riddick.
Oh,
Yeah,
speaking of Melee, among one of the many things Chris has said that I haven't heard much of recently is martial arts. He did mention a while ago that there will be a melee system, like
I've talked to
hand to
Gio
hand.
about this. I think Gio was in there when we talked about this as well.
Tell me they didn't cut
I
it.
was the one who
He
asked
was
it.
just
I was very thirsty.
when Gio was the one who asked him, and Lando went, "What?" and just looked at us like, "Are you crazy? He didn't say that." And then we were like,
But
"Yeah,
Tavar
he did.
Dojo.
Tavar martial arts," and he went, "Let me explain something here." And this is where he's like, when Chris talks, sometimes Chris just talks. And it's a good idea, but don't take everything he says as like gospel truth of what we're doing. This is something that he may like to do in the future.
This is where Aaron and Chris are different.
Yeah.
Aaron will reel it in.
Yeah.
Without a doubt.
It's not a stretch goal. It's not.
No, it wasn't even.
I want it to be
voted
one.
on. I'd love it. No, I love the
Imagine
concept. I
being
love the
full
idea.
on martial arts.
Yeah, like I like the
You
idea of
can get a
having.
Jones with a pistol, right? Just
Learn from the Banu.
Well, I like the idea of having like instead of having like a combat knife, you can like have you can replace it with like a martial arts move that you can learn in certain places of the world. So that instead of which will do different types of damage. So if you want to like stun somebody, you don't go up and stab them. Like you go up to them and say they get too close to you, you just bop in the face. And they just
I would
fall
settle
down.
for object melee. Like, you know, beat someone to death with a Big Benny's noodle box. It's
Yes.
just, it adds character.
CIG, please. We need to be
Like,
able
what
to
are you
beat
in
people
for?
to death with a
I'd
CIG.
beat him
move.
to
Boomerang
death
Benny
with a
box.
of noodles. Like,
It's
hardened
a
criminal,
boomerang, it comes
reputation
back.
to the top.
Yeah, beat,
Or at least chopsticks. you know.
yeah. Stab people in the eye
yeah,
with chopsticks. You know.
You could get through security with the Benny's box because it's just food, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, they'd never see it coming.
Deadly
Assassins.
noodles. All right, so let me pull up the questions here. Again, if you guys have more questions, please hit exclamation point questions in chat.
Oh, Jean Death
Zerker,
Touch.
before we go to the questions, I just want to let you know I didn't put a question in. I apologize.
No, you broke my heart, Gray. My
Dude,
heart
I'm so
is
sorry.
broken.
It was just when you said that, I was like, it was the whole tree thing. Sorry.
So if you guys don't know, and I'm sure the like mind explosion that you got with like all the information dump I just gave you for, 2.7 and 2.5 or 2.6. Caps table. All right. So, gosh, I've got questions all the way back from March on here.
Wow, that should be fun.
They're about 1.3. Questions for patch 1.3.
When's
Yeah.
the hanger coming out?
Is the M50 flyable?
Harold Zagnet asks, think Argo might have any practical use when released?
Yes?
Argo's my favorite ship in the world, and yes, it's going to be awesome because we get a passenger version. It's our first taxi. Yeah, we can't quantum jump or freaking, all that crap, but it is our very first passenger. I'm going to sit out in front of Port Olisar, and if the landing pads on A are full, I'm going to take you to B or C or
Till,
D.
till someone,
Corbin Dallas. You could just taxi drive, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
till
Yeah,
someone
3 points
makes an
left.
app. Till someone makes an app that people could just call you from anywhere and like Uber your ass.
Star Citizen.
Out of a job.
Uber.
Yes.
Super.
Oh my god.
Actually, I used to do that with a Mustang Beta. I was like, hey, guys, we got a sofa in the back. You can
No,
just
it's-
come
it's-
chill with
it's
me.
Beta.
Take straight across.
Yeah, Beta.
Beta.
Bang Stang. The beta or the Bang Stang?
Beta.
That is how you,
Yeah,
say it.
Beat. Ugh. It's not sound right.
Almost like
Next
penal
question
colony.
comes from Wixstruminus, Sexius, Allrighteous. Guys, if you were forced to melt all of your ships and have only one ship at the start of the game, which one would you settle with on and why?
Wait, so out of any of the ships?
Any of the ships, what would you choose?
Dragonfly. No, just kidding.
I'd get a javelin, melt it, and get all the other ships.
Tough one.
I
Nah,
would
I'd-
get the Freelancer Max, just because the Freelancer...
Super Hornet. I'm gonna always say Super Hornet.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I was gonna.
I would
Saber
I
for
reckon
me.
Saber.
Get the javelin, melt it, get a caterpillar and a
That's
carrack, and like
cheating.
mash them
can't
together to make
that.
Firefly. Are you gonna
Like,
make
I'm-
Serenity?
I was gonna
need
say-
to-
I was
I'm
gonna say
sorry, I need
carrack,
Serenity
but-
in the game.
I like dogfighting too much. And if I'm only given one, it's a fighter. But I have two, and I have a carrack. So carrack is my next favorite. And caterpillar. Can I have them all?
No, you can only have one.
Yes.
Care. I think
This is not Star Citizen Pokemon. We can't-
What if
we
they
can't
fit
have them
inside each other? Like if I can put a saber inside a carrack, can I keep both?
Good luck with that.
all.
I want to see
know.
that.
Keep
We'll have to ask Wixstrom for it.
I think
just kidding.
I'm going with the carrot because if I look at it, that's probably like my best value ship. You got a rover in there as an extra ship.
A snub fighter.
Stuff like some cool jobs in there, a little medical
Guns.
center.
Like,
The armor layer down the front window, that's pretty sick.
It looks fucking sick. So I think that's probably my best value ship.
and
out of my
it'll have really, really good vision the way that you're sitting, like a Reliant, how you're sitting suspended in a chair. That concept, if they don't mess that up, that's going to be very, very cool. You'll be able to look everywhere.
How about
So
you,
I'm gonna
Gray?
say. Oh, I'm sorry. Go
Sorry,
ahead.
go ahead, Gray.
Go ahead, Z-Man.
Go. GHG.
All right, so I would say that my constellation, I would keep that if I could replace the Merlin for a really awesome escape pod that I could rent out to hookers.
The hooker escape pod.
That's in the Phoenix, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's already in the Phoenix. Yeah.
Yeah.
The jacuzzi just shoots out the bottom.
He just
No. I'm just saying I want to rent it out.
He wants to
just
Nara, is what he's saying. He wants to
Exactly.
He wants to like rent the back of his ship out as a space
Serenity
space hotel.
prostitute mobile.
God. That'd probably be the Argo.
I just
there's
want the
the
Serenity.
tangent.
Go ahead, Gray. I'm sorry to cut you off, buddy.
Oh, it's fine. I'm the only one here. I would start with an Aurora.
Aurora, yeah.
You cannot get the massive amount of play as you can if you start with a single seat crapola starter ship and then work your way
Honda
up
Civic.
to that Carrack or to that 890 jump. Right now, I'm down to just a couple starters anyway. I do have a freelancer. I'll be selling it as soon as I hit the actual release of the game. But for me, starter ship all the way, because to earn that in game is going to be the best feeling in the world.
Oh yeah, and to be able to go from
That's
0 to
true.
hero is going to be amazing. Like, so I have an account that just has a Aurora, and I'm actually planning to sell that Aurora the second the game releases. So I'm just going to be going around on
That's a good idea.
earning money. And
Yes,
I'm going to
hoboing.
film the whole thing
You
and
can
do
buy
that
a
whole story
pistol
base.
with
It's
it.
going to be kind of cool. But yeah, no.
I was hoping there'd be a package like that. You can just buy into the game without a ship.
Yeah, they've talked about that, and they've said, yeah, but you can always sell your shit.
Mm.
Like they've said, essentially, there's no point in us making it because if you want it, you don't want it. You want to be multi-crew, and you just want more money, then sell your shit. And you get
Yep,
Oh,
and
Exactly. Yeah.
you'll need it for some weapons and like a flight suit and stuff like that. So it's a great idea to get it, sell the ship, and then start your hoboism.
Space hobo, space the hoopy fruit, or hoppy fruit, can't remember how to pronounce it. So the next question comes from Mr. Geek Critic. Do you think Squadron 42 will go up for pre-order on Steam a few months prior to its full release launch day? No.
No Steam.
I believe
Nope.
that it should go on Steam, but not until after it's launched and probably had a couple of patches. Because even though the game is going to be I hope that it'll be bug free. There'll still be bugs I'll have to go in and find. Deep bugs.
If you'd like to pre-order Squadron 42, you currently visit Robert's Space Industries.
Do it now.
Do it.
So
Pre-order.
Steam is horrible for this one thing, that if it comes out and people have pre-ordered it and it sucks on the day that they're able to play it, the Metascore,
Yeah, they review
Right?
bomb it. Yeah.
and I mean, what other game is Arkham? Like, granted, that had to happen, but it was so bad that they pulled it from Steam, and it was all score based. So no, I don't think that anyone would let that happen. Like, put that out there.
Yeah, no, I think Steam is a great avenue for getting more attention, and I think it should
After.
eventually come to Steam.
Yeah.
But after it's already released, just to the backers and everything else like that, because the hype will be real. Like when we're all playing Squadron 42, I guarantee you we'll have major YouTubers, major streamers, major celebrities probably even playing this game and recording it and talking about it, because it's one of
Terry
those
Crews.
games that's it's like its own.
Yes.
It's like its own freaking. I really want to make Terry Crews a backer. I don't know if it's possible. Terry, if you're watching, or if anybody knows Terry in this audience, please send
It's
Mr.
probably
Crews
like
a message.
He'll get it.
First gamer
He will.
actor that gets my respect now. He built a PC. He's not one of those fake
He built a
console
PC.
peasants that act like he likes the game.
Yep. Built it with his son too.
Yeah.
That's
He looks
another.
so
It's a
excited.
It's a
I just-
bonding experience.
I've
for
never
him and
seen
his
that.
son, so, which is
He was the only one at that Battlefield event. I knew he was a PC gamer when he was on that mouse keyboard, because the rest of those scrub noobs are just there just to be there.
Well, he was a nerd when he grew up. I mean, like his dealing, what he just dealt with not being able to talk to women by just lifting tons and tons of weights. But no, I really
You heard
hope
it here
they go on.
first.
But yeah, no, I think Steam is a good avenue to get publicity after the game's released, and it'll bring in people who are like, I've never heard of this game before, because as much as I keep preaching this, but as much as everyone thinks that everyone in the universe knows about Star Citizen, I still find people who are like, what the hell is this game? I've never heard of this
Yeah,
game.
you'd be surprised.
So-
1 million
So-
isn't
so-
a lot.
So
Yeah.
Geek is clarifying that his question said pre-order, not pre-release. So
no.
is there really a difference?
No, I don't think pre-order should happen. I think it should just be a congratulations.
It's already
to Steam.
happening, sort
Yeah.
of, I guess you'd say. But not on Steam. I don't think it should.
No, but I think what he's saying is like if it released to us and then like a couple of months before it releases to Steam, they have pre-orders for it. I don't think that. I mean, I think at that point it'll just be a simple push it to Steam. Like it's not.
Yeah.
Not
Right.
Once they have a finished build, it's not like they requires them a certain amount of time. They just have to make sure that Steam knows that they work with Steam to make sure that the infrastructure is working for them to be able to
I'm
host
hoping-
game files.
I'm hoping that it's not going to be necessary to go to Steam anyways. That there's going to be so much hype about it that it won't matter. It'll be in the Steam forums and everything like that. I don't actually see the reason of splitting the game from you can buy it on Robert Space Industries, and I know it's going to change, right? For all of us that already have it, and then you can also buy it on Steam. It's like Ubi. You go buy an Ubi game on Steam, you still have to download Ubi and play it on Ubi. So what's the point?
The point
right?
is,
Like,
it's more advertising. That's the entire point. Is that
yeah, but it's infuriating.
I know it's infuriating, but you're gonna if
Yeah.
you buy it on Steam, what you'll do is you'll just download the launcher that everybody else already downloaded. It's kind of like how Kerbal Space Program works. Is like Kerbal Space Program is the same
Warframe.
thing. You can either download it directly from their website if you buy it from their website, or you can buy it on Steam and download it on Steam.
I think Warframe you can get off Steam, but it just gets you the same launcher as the website.
Yeah,
You
same
don't
with
run
World
through
of Tanks and not World. I'm sorry, War Thunder and a bunch of other.
It's a good method, actually.
Yeah.
Same with Final Fantasy, etc.
So, next question comes from Auntie. Would you expect them to release a full beta of Squadron 42 for people who own it if they finish but needed buggy fixes? No, we already covered that.
Nope.
No,
Absolutely not.
they've said they want to release this full when it comes out rather than buggy.
They have a giant UEE tarp over every spoiler.
Yeah.
Just every base is covered.
The Auntie then asks, what role activity are you most excited about for lunch? Pirate, bounty hunter, bartender, etc. This question's asked every captain's table.
I was going to say
Awesome, thank you.
Pirate, but GHG got me to watch Firefly, and now I'm going to have to say Space Smuggler Hero Malcolm Reynolds.
Malcolm Reynolds, yeah.
Something like that, yeah, basically.
So I have a quick little. That was a good segue, actually. Something I was thinking about is now that we're getting the pirate spawn point. Do you think that as a community at the beginning, it's like, oh, piracy's bad, and like I'm just going to play like knight in shining armor. But now that we're starting to see this separation, I'm indifferent. I'm becoming indifferent. I was hard coded to play good, and I'm going to play good. But now that we have this other place to spawn from, do you think that that's going to split the community more? Do you think that'll make it more divided?
Multiple accounts, I think it's going to cause. That's what.
Yeah, I was already gonna do multiple accounts anyway, so.
But now it's just better. Now it's more likely to
One's
happen.
gonna be my good boy, and one's gonna be my asshat troll. Take everything account.
I mean, honestly, I'm excited for Grimhex mostly because of
Grimhex,
the freaking illegal racing. Like, I want to see
That looks
Z-Man
be a-
and Skyhawk do some underground, Too Fast, Too Furious racing going on in Grimhex. So I could be like, I got all my money on Z-Man,
bro.
All
That's
right,
I got NOS.
yeah.
I imagine it won't work too well until 2.6 or 2.7.
Yeah, I'm sure it's not going to be in there until 2.5, 2.6, or 2.7, but it's one of those, like, that's the exciting points. Like, I can do something. And in reality, I think that's really the first profession that will be in games, racing, if that's the case. Because it's the first fully fledged, you get into a race, you race, you win money. And that's all you need to do with racing. There's no other kind of ifs, ands, or buts about it. There may be some, like, you can qualify for certain races down the line, but the fact that it's going to be coming in sooner rather than later is glorious.
And don't forget,
Spot on.
we will have to have the new net code.
Oh, yeah.
Because racing at 20 FPS just doesn't work. So,
Not right.
and they've already said it's going to be incremental too. So that could be actually later than 2.7 to get the racing. We're going to get the gun safe zone first, and then they're going to get some free fire zones and open up places here and there. I am so sure that that's going to have to wait for the new net code. They may throw it at us at maybe 2.7, but 20 FPS racing, no.
All right, so I'm gonna before we continue, I'm going to take down this name real quickly. Whoever wins this raffle, good luck to everyone who has entered the raffle. This is again from HCS and Voice Attack, sponsored by them. Giveaway. It's it's Voice Attack and HCS. Remember the name of it? Vasco. Which is a profile that HCS makes specifically for Star Citizen.
Brian Blessed.
Really cool voice. Really
Yeah,
evident.
he's the dwarf from Lord of the Rings.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a cool. He swears a lot. He's super potty mouth. He's super aggressive. It's actually one of the most different of all the other ones. And whoever wins, if you whisper me, I'll take care of all the rest of it. You whisper me your email address, I'll sort this out.
Alrighty, it's already been guys. It's already been going. So you're too late. It's been going for an hour. Oh wait, I didn't. It didn't close the raffle. It didn't close the raffle. Interesting.
Oh,
Everyone's getting in now.
get in there.
Oh, sneaking in.
I'm gonna do a 3 minutes or 5 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. Close the keyword.
I'm gonna hop on this one.
Do it.
I want
So,
that dwarf.
so Zerk, Zerk, real quick, back to that question. So you're a big Mass Effect player. Did you often go Renegade or Paragon, or did you?
The one thing that I enjoy playing is just kind of playing the way that I'd like to play, and I didn't go perfectly Paragon, but I definitely went more Paragon than I did Renegade. But there were some Renegade options I just had to take. Like
Yeah,
the
you
option-
wanted to get the hot chicks on the Renegade side.
Yeah, no, but it's like
sometimes.
when I play Witcher. I'm gonna I'm gonna bang
Digital
every chick
chicks?
I can see in Witcher, but I'm going to make sure that I'm not pissing off the one chick I want to bang later. I'm gonna do I'm gonna stab the dude in the back rather than let him kill the kid. Yeah, it's Renegade, or it's a bad move, but it's good. In
I was
my
the same.
eyes. So
But the one thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
what I ended up doing was about 75%, 70 to 75% Paragon, and about 20 to 25% Renegade in most of my playthroughs. So.
I couldn't take him seriously, but Renegade Shepherd just there's this one decision where there's
Renegade is amazing.
yes, not
Jennifer
male
Hale.
Shepherd. He's just so awkward and wrong. Like there's this reporter and she's asking for an interview, and the Renegade option, you walk up to her and you say, "I'm sick. Like I've had enough of your disingenuous assertions," and you smack her in the face.
Yeah.
Backhand
Like,
that bitch. I was like,
That's like, what kind of a bandit says that? I've had
Bitch.
enough of your disingenuous assertions.
I fell out my chair.
And Jennifer Hale just is like, shut up, and just like smacks back.
Oh, she's great. I met her in person last year.
She's
Really
I
chill.
never played as
she's
female
a
stuff. I always-
super talented
Yeah,
actress. I'll just say that.
Really
All right,
is.
so you guys got about a minute left to enter this. I forgot to hit the timer. She got so interesting. There's so much
Oh, you're
hype going
right.
on.
I think Astro Pub's a little drunk on the job there, huh?
Screw you, Gio. Yeah.
T-Ban.
It's sad that I can grab an empty beer bottle and just offhand on the stream. It is a pub.
Yeah.
So, continuing on with the questions.
It's a pub, and here we all sit with empty glasses.
Yeah. Well, I can't serve everybody.
Water.
Not me. Iced tea still going.
I got a good big old
see.
fucking moon.
Don't even know.
Iquatis asks, what happens to Squadron 42 staff once 42 launches? Does the dev team for Star Citizen absorb them and ultimately increase its production? Yes and no. They have said
Episode 2.
they said
Sorry.
they're going to move entirely into Episode 2. But I don't think they'll need everyone that they had for Squadron 42 to immediately go over. So some of them will move over to the Star Citizen development teams.
I think I wouldn't say a letdown, but I'd really be excited if we had all the devs working on Star Citizen, because that's what I'm really excited for. I can't imagine what they could dish
Well,
out.
I think they'll prioritize.
One will move over. All the hard work will be done. They'll have all the assets in place, all the ships in place. Maybe
That's true.
need a couple extra, but yeah, I mean, I would think like 3/4 of those guys working their butts off right now would switch over to the persistent universe.
Yeah, and a lot of that is just them making art assets, because at the end of the day, what's going to be difficult is not necessarily building the world. Building the world is pretty easy. Look at No Man's Sky. Look at Elite Dangerous. Elite Dangerous had like 5 systems in its beta, and then they just turned on the procedural generation, and it went from like 5 to 4 billion overnight.
Yeah.
So, it's not difficult to procedure generate or to just plop in stuff. The issue is making the universe feel real, and also making enough stuff so that it's variety. There's enough variety.
They're
that it's not-
handcrafting it. That's the difference.
Yeah, you know what's funny? Gurmok was talking about that on Verse to Verse, how they're trying to build more landing pads because Grim Hex landing pads kind of look like Port Olisar. So what he was trying to do before he leaves was put out some more landing pads and looks,
Style,
but
yeah.
he doesn't know if it's going to be put in the game or not, because I think Friday was his last day. So Gurmok is gone. If you guys didn't know, he made the Vanguard and the Carrack.
And he
So
was
he will be missed because that dude was a beast.
He did a lot of. He's a concept artist though. He's a 3D. I think he's a 3D modeler and a concept artist. So
Yeah.
he's. He
On the
took
off
it from
chance
there.
anyone did miss it, Grimhex will have landing hangars, so that you actually request
The
permission to
landing
land.
hangars will not be in 2.5 though.
No.
They just announced that they will not be in 2.5. It will be in later, but they're trying to make the tech work. And I think what they're going to try to do
Yep.
is they're going to try to land in the hangar, and when you get out of your ship and you go to an elevator to go up to the main hangar, as you go up the elevator, the ship despawns. So I think they're trying to work on that ship despawn thing.
Yep. And it's incremental.
Yeah.
We'll probably see the hangar doors, but that's about it.
You might be able to open the hangar doors, but you won't be able to go in. It'll probably be like a.
Oh.
So would that be only for people who have an asteroid hangar then?
No, it's for.
No, it's like a parking garage.
Yeah, that's where you park, and if you call in a ship, it'll end up on the landing pads outside.
A garage.
Yeah.
I almost missed this. In 2.7, supposedly, I believe this is in 2.7, planets and moons are revolving around suns with naturally simulated day and night cycles.
That's big. I mean, that's something they said they weren't going
That's
to be able to
huge.
do, and now suddenly it is. So.
I can't believe I missed that.
Yeah, and I mean, a lot of people say, "Oh yeah, it's
Man,
easy because
something
Elite Dangerous
great.
does it," but it was a little different compared to Elite Dangerous and Star Citizen. Elite Dangerous is still running on the same engine that was running on. It's the same Elite
Fraudulent.
engine from the original Elite game that they've modified over.
I
time.
wouldn't say it's confirmed for 2.7 because they also do talk about subsumption stuff in here, and I don't think that's going in 2.7.
Well, no, they said that in 2.7 that's what they're going for the release.
Really?
Yeah, is the full.
Elite
dynamic.
Dangerous,
Subsumption is a little different because it's easy to mimic the calculation and rotation of planets. I mean, Global Space Program does that. It's not too difficult to do. The issue is how accurate do you want to get it and how detailed do you want to get it. So that's the big issue.
Yeah, I must say, Elite Dangerous has some of the sorriest procedural planets I've ever seen.
They're not bad. It's just they're generic. There's just not a lot of
Yeah,
variety
very
between them.
plain.
That's the difference between Star Citizen and everything else I've seen, whether it was No Man's Sky or Elite Dangerous, is they're not just random planets. They are procedurally generated, and that's the term that gets used really, or almost misused. But really, these planets have lore, they have backstory, they're being handcrafted and done. It's just procedural generation is just a large scale tool.
Even with No Man's Sky, their planets have more life than Elite Dangerous. I mean, it's just like a gray planet with your buggy, super duper generic and not finished, and they want to charge you for that bullshit, which is unacceptable. I paid my $40. I don't have to pay another $50 for that fraudulent bullshit. Absolutely not.
Right on.
That pisses me off. Now, if Star Citizen would have said, "Oh, you guys got to pay for procedural planet, the generation," people would be pissed. It'd be on every video game site blog ever.
Reminds me how ridiculously cheap the game is. $45 and that's it. You're done. You're set
For
for
Star
life.
Citizen, yeah.
Not with Squadron 42, but
Yeah,
yeah.
but you can get it for $60 for Squadron 42 and Star Citizen.
Yeah, just
which
15
is
extra
a
bucks.
Real
That's-
deal for two separate games.
It really is.
You know.
For life.
All right, next question
For
comes
life.
from Geo Get Money.
Life.
Gray, could you play with my noodle?
Huh. Oh,
absolutely.
I put that in there. Somebody trolled the fuck out of me then.
Hey, Gio, I'll hit you up on Discord later.
By the way, guys, we only have two more questions left. So if you guys
Over
want to
there.
drop some questions in chat, feel free to. You know, we still got 30 minutes left to kill. So otherwise, we'll just sit here and talk about it.
Captain Jimmy, no, you do have to pay to land on them planets. Go look it up. I'm not bullshitting.
No, for Elite Dangerous, if you don't have the beta access, you have to pay for the Horizons pack, which is $50. It was $60. I think it's now $60. And the original and the base game is like $20. So you need the Horizons and the original base, but I think
I
most
bought it
Horizons
at
come with the
60.
base.
So yeah, you could get at 20. I guess that's kind of okay. But I paid a full 60, thinking I was going to get everything else. I knew they were going to have the season pass with certain stuff. I thought it was going to be like ships or vehicles, not features. I never seen DLC feature. That's a first for me. So
Word.
Yeah, I agree.
And Ham, yes, we do play. This is a podcast where we talk about it. All of these people do play it. This is more of a discussion-based podcast. If you're looking for gameplay, there's plenty of other people who are playing it right now, and you can always catch up these guys later if on their streams or on their YouTubes if you'd like to, and they do play for that stuff. So, next question.
Wait, you could play this game?
Yeah, no, it is.
I heard about something like that.
Real
Let's
talk.
talk about it.
They're literally people who come into my stream like, wait, Star Citizen's out? It's like, it's been out for like this version, the 2.0 ish, the 2 whatevers, 2.x game has been out for almost 8 months, and people are still like, wow, Star Citizen's out. It's like,
and that's what goes back up we were talking about earlier with the publicity with those magazines. A lot of people don't even know what the hell is even going on. So you got adding all these extra features. People don't even know about the stuff that's out now.
Is that important though?
They're not keeping up with it all the time like us.
Because I guarantee you, Star Citizen Squadron 42 comes out, it's going to be on the map.
Oh yeah,
Right, like,
when that
Yeah.
drops, oh yeah, everyone's gonna be on it like white on rice. But like small feature lists and stuff that we're talking about now, a lot of the general public doesn't know unless they go deep into it and look at it and watch videos.
Friend of mine's an original backer, hasn't watched videos. Just you let me know he's selling Noob Fire. Tell me when it's out, and I'll download it.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't, he bought a Connie, and he's like money invested in a game that is proof illusion. It's gone, right? As far as he's concerned, it's gone. And I'm looking forward to the day that I can actually tell him, you should possibly go buy a computer.
Yeah. Don't get a computer now. You don't have a game. Okay. So the wet noodle, I don't know if this is a trolley question, but it's actually a question we can answer as of today. Wet noodle asks, when is Star Marine coming out? 2.6.
2.6.
So
Congratulations.
Confirmed.
Maybe he means what month though.
we don't know. 2.5 should be coming out at either
Monday.
the end of this month or
I say
August.
Gamescom.
Yes, it is coming out on Monday. Terrellian, CIG official. It's on Monday. Go complain, go
110%.
hype it up, and then cause trouble on the forums. Confirm.
I'm guessing
Do it.
Gamescom, Space Marine right now.
Citizen Con. What about? Do we think that? So you think Star Marine's coming out in Gamescon?
I
That
think-
would mean that
Procedural
Procedural
Yeah.
Planet.
I think they'll probably
think
show
that's
off
when they drop the bomb.
they'll probably show off Procedural Tech and Star Marine at Citizen Con, or at Gamescom.
Yeah, I believe they said they were aiming to get 2.6 at Gamescom.
Yeah, I don't
Okay.
think they'll get 2.6 at Gamescom because 2.5 hasn't even released to.
Yeah, it's taking its time.
I think they'll have it at Gamescom because that's a big venue for them to show off.
Yeah, because we're talking what 2 months from now.
We're
It's
talking
bigger
about
than
2
Citizen
weeks
Con, that's for
release.
sure.
Let's not forget that they were showing the demo. How long ago was the demo
A
of
year.
Star Marine? Yeah,
Oh,
so
2 years
it's
ago.
got to
Well,
be
over
it's
a
got to
year.
be at least playable for the four guys who are going, like
well, we talk-
Captain Richard, Bad News
A lot
Baron.
of shit happened.
Yeah, we talked about that about 3 weeks ago behind the scenes. There was some shit that got fucked up with
Yeah.
that, and they kind of had to do a,
Yeah.
know.
Oh yeah, I was watching that. That was on here, wasn't it?
Yeah. So
Well, it was kind of behind the scene. We didn't talk about it on stream because we don't want to put no names to get people in trouble or nothing like that.
we
but-
did talk a little bit of it on stream about how
Oh,
like
yeah.
essentially what happened was the at PAX East they released they brought all the rigs in and all the animations fucking broke and they didn't work, and so that's the reason why they were only able to do SATA ball was because the animations fucking broke. And I talked to some other people who were at PAX East and they said the exact same thing. So I know Feather was on the money for that, and that's probably the reason. That's the reason why they go back and they had to redo the skeleton and the animations and all that shit, and that takes a long time. That can take years to do that kind of shit.
So all that work that other studio kind of did almost kind of went to waste.
They still have the assets, like the armors and stuff like that.
Those
They-
particles.
they had their
I've been
set,
using them so much.
Like some of that stuff was still in there, but
Ilphonics particles are gorgeous. Seriously.
And
I'm
something
not
else
saying
we-
everything, but quite a bit kind of went to waste. So they kind
Yeah.
of had to re-scrap and do things over.
but something else we got to remember: 2.5 is getting close. When they release it to us and we get Grim Hex and all like that, 2.6 could actually come right after that or with it. Right after they say, okay, 2.5 is going live, they could actually go straight to 2.6 because that's just the module. It's not game. It's not nothing to do with the PTU. They could be working on that totally separate. It could be done, and all they got to do is light up that Star Marine button and activate it. Because it's like
we could have
what
a
else is
2.5
coming?
or a 2.5 point something where they release Star Marine is because it's, as you said, it has nothing to do with the persistent universe. It's its own separate module.
Is there anything else coming with 2.6 though? Is a good
We
question.
don't know. My guess is that with 2.6 we'll see more flyable ships. My hope is the Caterpillar. I hope the Caterpillar and the
At
Dragonfly
least in the end.
in
Hangar.
engine
Yeah.
or flyable, because in my mind I know what it's going to. The reason why they released the Dragonflies because they knew they were going to have to do ground-based stuff with procedural tech, and so they wanted to have a ground-based vehicle that would be ready, other than the Grey Cat, because the Grey Cat kind of sucks. It's a golf cart trying to go across.
Catches
country
on
in a golf
fire
cart.
really well.
Yeah,
I
you
did
guys
notice
check the
they said-
forklift? I was shocked by the forklift.
forklift was cool. Yeah.
They said there's lore behind the Dragonfly that it's the only or the first space motorcycle.
Yep.
Which shocks me. I want to see an
Other
Aegis
space
kind of,
motorcycles?
I'd love
to see
gonna
like a MISC,
drag by them
MISC
themselves?
truck. I want to see a MISC truck. I want to see like
How about
Yeah, like-
Anvil? How many ships does Anvil have? Everybody right away. I want something. How about I want Aegis to make something.
No,
You
no.
guys
I,
notice
I,
that?
want, I want an anvil. I
The
want an
Serenity
anvil
movie.
tank. I want an anvil tank to come
The
out.
mule.
You know?
They got the
Yes.
carrot.
No, the thing they're on at the start of the movie. They're kind of running around.
In what?
They go into that town and the Reavers show up.
Oh yeah, the skiff.
that's the
Oh,
mule.
yes,
Yeah,
Yeah, the
yes.
skiff thing. That
Yeah, Skip.
that
Yeah,
would be
it's called the mule.
Yeah.
And that's what
Oh, it is.
when I see the Argo, for some reason I always think that would be my little mule.
Yeah.
I'd love to see a mule like that.
Yeah,
No-
that
no
kind of
grenade
like
chain.
a little kind of sleek bike, sort of attack bike sort of thing for Aegis, and there's potential there.
Gray cat, yeah.
A great cat with thrusters.
The SUX. I agree with Lando. We want
SUX
the
2000.
The SUX 2000. Yeah, the Gray Cat SUX. And as he also said on Reverse the Verse, I think he said he wants to weaponize the Gray Cat, and I'm like, yes, put some guns.
There
in
are
the Gray
hard
Cat.
points, I believe.
Make sure that you can. All I want is to be able to lean out. I made this a joke like a year ago. I said I want to be able to have a passenger lean out the side of a Gray Cat and shoot at each other, so we can have GTA Hardcore. And I think that actually is probably going to be in the game. To then be able to lean out of the Gray Cat.
Battlefield
and shoot
Hardline in Star Citizen.
Yeah.
Oh god, that'd be so fun.
All right, so the next question comes from Her Ice, which is, we keep getting updated ships. Example, Hornet is due for an update, I believe. Do you think they'll continue to update the ships as much as they have been in the last 2 years post-launch as well? Yes, they've talked about that.
Yeah, all the older ones, they have to. They have to get to the new standards with the piping and the damage states and all like that.
And they've even said that
And even then, they're going to release models beyond that.
Yeah, so like
Their
Aurora will
plans
have new models.
like a new iteration.
I know it'd be incredibly impossible to do, but it'd be awesome if they have different model years of ships.
That's
They
the
need
plan.
to.
What they're
That's,
doing.
yeah, that's
They
the plan.
have
They
to.
do
That's
model
it.
years of like Aurora, like a different model.
Yeah.
year
I
of
believe they're doing a
Aurora,
new
one year of
300
Hornets.
series
The new 300
after the
series.
rework. They have plans. Yeah.
It's not every year, but there's going to be like up to this point, it looked like this, and then you got the one that has, better telemetry or something, and better armor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And it'll be
Freelance is a
What's
good
gonna happen,
example.
all these ships that were
And the Hornet.
spent money on and everything, they're gonna be obsolete to the newer ship. Maybe probably
Within a
3-4
year.
year down the line.
Yeah, within a year.
Oh, you thinking a year less than that? Ooh.
Yeah, I'm thinking a year. Because, I mean, the thing is that when CIG is done with all the heavy stuff, the netcode-ish stuff, the procedure generation of planets, once all that back-end stuff is done, it will take 3 months for them to release a ship. Like, because they've shown us that it takes them 3 months to release a ship if they really wanted to. So that's all they got to do. They'll push it out pretty quickly. And especially if they have the models already there, and all they have to do is modify the models a little bit to kind of make it a little bit better, and like take the suggestions from the fans, be like, hey, the Aurora cockpit sucks. Give us an ejection seat on the Aurora, or like some more space so we can get in and out of the Aurora faster.
Drake
We're not
injection
getting-
seats, please.
Chris Roberts totally cock blocked that one when they Drake Dragonfly came out. He's like, nope, it's a cheap ship. It doesn't have an ejection seat. I'm like,
Yeah.
what?
Drakes don't have
Yeah.
ejection sheets because Drake pilots are better than because they don't need
Because they
them.
don't need it.
That's the best
Just
excuse.
just
'Cause
shoot
they
the
don't
stats off
need 'em.
people. But I want to be able to buy. It makes sense that it doesn't come with one, but you should be able to buy an ejection seat if you don't feel you're like
Modify it to have an
God's
ejection
gift to the
seat?
stick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't even care. Like I'll pay $10 or 10,000 UEC for an ejection seat.
Yeah.
One thing I found very interesting. So this is just coming from a CryEngine perspective. A lot of people were asking me about the engines on the Cutlass. The one I was using, I was sort of just sifting through a few different engines, and there's one that attaches onto it, and it fits perfectly, like spot on. It is perfect, and it's that little part that it can rotate down the bottom. That's not in the game at the moment, and so I'm wondering if you're going to be able to full on properly customize engines to that extent.
Oh yeah, they've talked
And-
about that.
Yeah, I also noticed the Cutlass seats aren't. One of them's not a part of the ship, so perhaps you could be able to take it in and out.
Could be.
Yeah, it looks like it's bolted to the
Who
ground.
knows?
Yeah.
Mm.
And just punch you right out of the glass because you're wearing a helmet.
Drop
it doesn't
kick.
matter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean that's how the early ejection seats.
Your
work.
little
You
fan will
just
keep
literally
you-
blasted
Little
through the
fan.
through the you actually blasted through the cockpit glass.
Well, that's why the Gladius has that punch out, right? If you look up in the glass, there's a weaker spot in the top, and it's the same idea.
That's actually explosive tape they use in canopies.
Oh no way!
Mhm.
Yeah,
Mm.
don't push that by accident.
to trust the Air Force man.
Hey!
Yeah,
right
Navy,
there,
I'm
buddy.
sorry, Navy.
I need some Air Force tape, explosive Air Force tape.
Det
All right. So
cord
the
would be
next
fun,
question
right?
is from Wizman. Now that we have procedural tech, how much space do you think the game's going to take on hard drive? From the guest, 100
Terabyte.
gigabytes to.
It's not gonna
Terrible.
get smaller.
I
It's
think
still not going to be
It's not
smaller.
going to be small. I think the
No.
biggest it could be is about 150 but we're also. I mean, look at some of these games. There's some games that are out there right now that are like 50 gigabytes.
Well, procedural tech is look at No Man's Sky. It's only like 6 gigs.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it also looks like a cell shaded animation. It doesn't look exactly realistic.
That is.
You have to remember the diversity that they're trying to get, right? So even though it's procedural, all the planets on a particular all the plants on a particular planet have to be modeled and looked right, and then the computer goes and builds your forest. But they still have to be there, right? And you don't want the same trees on Earth as you got on Uranus. So you know what I mean? But so yeah, I mean the game's still going to be big, and with the 8K texture and all the graphical fidelity and stuff like that, I'm not expecting it to be a small game, and I'm okay with that. I guess I'm telling people that they should be okay with it too.
Yeah, it's an MMO, and it's an MMO that every person I've ever talked to who's been in the game industry for a long time or been a streamer or a content creator has said, this is one of those kind of games that's aiming to change how games are made in the future. And so having it cost a ton of space, I remember when the original Crysis came out, it was massive for our hard drives at the time. It was like 2 gigs or 3 gigs when most games were maybe a gig, probably less. And everyone's just like, nope, I can't run my computer because I need more space, kind of stuff. Maybe I'm wrong about that, but
as long as they get
huge comparative.
The incremental download thing working, it's okay if it's a terabyte. I know it's not a terabyte, but you know what I mean. Yeah. Like as long as you're not downloading 500 gigs every time, every Wednesday, let's say a patch comes out, then I mean that's not going to happen. Some people can't even pull that like their internet doesn't even allow that. So, but yeah, I mean, it's going to be big, and that's fine.
I am looking forward to that new patching system they've been talking about.
Yeah,
getting rid of the patch files.
It's going to save money on top of that. If they can get it to work, it's going to save bandwidth for CIG. And if you think about it, all of that money is our money, right? I know that's like a shitty way of looking at it, but I would rather that money go towards building the game than downloading Free Fly Weekend for I don't know.
It benefits everyone.
Yeah, don't take that out of context. You know what I mean?
Someone's going to look at this video and take it out of context and completely attack.
Yeah, exactly. Nubifire's an asshole.
Yeah,
they're already
Nubifier wants all his money back. Refund.
Yeah,
Nubifier sits in a fart room.
Yeah,
according to Gray Haired Gamer.
That would be a fart room.
Hashtag fart room.
Next question comes from Diablos. Ricky, Rick, why are you such a bad flyer / lander?
Game on.
Because I can't be this pretty and fly good at the same time. So
nice.
hey, it works for me, Gray. So
let me this way. Was Mal ever a good pilot?
No, shit flew off his ship all the time.
Yeah.
He only flew the ship actually a couple times.
He only flew
the ship like getting it on with Sophie.
Yeah, so that's
a soldier. Yeah,
he's a soldier, not a pilot. So I don't expect Gray to be a good pilot.
Nope. I sit in the pilot seat and I tell Diablos, fly the ship and get me some coffee.
So Diablos, I think I was trying to tell you is that you were a leaf on the wind. Watch you soar.
I was saying he's my bitch.
The quotes are real.
Too soon. I actually have a good excuse for being a bad pilot. I have a GTX 650, which you can imagine the frames I get sometimes around places like Korea and Olisar.
I have a 670, I understand.
And I didn't know that being in landing mode slowed down your descent once you'd requested landing. Like, you go at a slower rate. So I was like kind of spamming between control and spacebar to like get my ship to go up and down till it was at the right level. And this one time I ended up transporting a Saurus, and I was giving him a lift to Korea, and I was like going up and down. I'm like, shit, this is really embarrassing. I've got like 3 people in the back of my Mustang, and then they were just like, you can just switch to landing mode and you can go slow. And I was like, oh shit, I can too. And yeah. So now I know how to land.
That's
be overwhelming at first.
Yeah, no, and as everyone said, as we've seen from the free flight, there's some people's like, why are there so many buttons?
Oh yeah. You just press controls to go backwards, right? No, that's the old settings.
Yeah, I haven't been practicing my flying because every time this update, I got to keep updating my flight sticks. I was like, you know what? I'll wait because I can't fly with anything else besides my flight sticks.
All right.
So on the controller. Hold on. Oh my god,
Gio. So that brings up a good question for me. So do you guys you all export your settings right every single time and then import them into the new patch?
I don't.
Why? Why wouldn't
I
you do
rebind
that?
it every
I forgot
time because they
last time.
change because they add things.
Yeah.
They add things and change things around. Like with this patch with 2.4 and with 2.0, they added so and changed so many things that I just.
All
went
I
back.
usually do is import my old settings and change the few buttons that they change, and then
Yeah.
export it again.
But the other problem is that I don't have like a HOTAS system. I have like you. I have T1600M and a SATIC X52 stick. And the problems is that like this last patch, 2.4.1, it actually inverted the two, so that it was reading the T16000M as the HOTA as the throttle, and the throttle as the T16000.
And you unplug one and
you
Yeah,
just
plug
switch,
them in.
because
switch the ports.
It was just
Yeah.
it was
That's
just,
all I had to do too.
what had happened was I plugged in a gamepad, and that's what it did. I decided to flip it on because I plugged in a gamepad. So I had to go through and fix things up to make it right. But yeah, no, I do it the hard way because I also like to go in and see what they've changed, because every time I've done so, I've seen little changes. Like they add some things into there that you don't see before. Like, oh, now there's turret controls. Now there's this control. All that kind of stuff. In fact, the turret controls have a missile lock option now. So there's actually a missile lock.
yeah, Harbinger. Well, I know that's supposed to be rocket pods, but
Yeah. No, missile lock. So it's designed for like the larger ships that actually have missile or like lock-on missiles as their stuff other than rocket pods.
Mag boots would be nice.
Mag
I was
boots.
looking through the controls. You got beacons and mag boots and all stuff we don't have.
They used to have them, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, actually, I should look up some gameplay of it. If anyone has it, link it to me.
It was
'cause I'd
ghetto
love
as
to.
It was
hell.
terrible. It was terrible. Yeah.
Really? Oh, that's a bummer.
Very wishy-washy. That's why I took it out so they could rework it.
Yeah, it kind of worked, but it was kind of booty as well. But they needs to come online soon because
Could you stand on a ship in Quantum?
we didn't have quantum back then. So
Oh, so this is back in Arena Commander days.
Back in our day.
boy, this is
God.
before go quantum drive.
did anyone
It's
nobody
gotta
talked
good.
about the 1060 that came out recently? The
1060.
Yeah, the guys were testing it. We're saying that it's as good, like it trades with a 980 Ti, and that's currently what I'm running. But I
980, not a Ti.
oh man, okay.
Yeah, the
sorry,
1060
sorry for all those guys that got their wallets ready, but it's still okay. So like I was talking to Sniffle Wizard, he was running like a 420 GT, something like really bad, and he went to a 1060. Like he was all hyped because he was getting a 1060. So massive shout out to Technology Sniffle Wizard. Welcome to this century,
Yeah.
right? It's going to totally change his gameplay. So I mean, I can imagine the frustration of playing at like kind of Qbert level. It's going to make it a much better game, but affordable. And that's, I think, where we're going. It's very good.
Yep.
You can still go buy the $1,000 graphics card if you want, and there's no excuse for anyone not to play the game anymore. It's very cool. $250. Go
That's
buy
a very good price. It's a real good time to get in PC gaming if
for
people
for
are
1080
considering it.
for 1080 gaming. That's money. That's just perfect.
This segment of the Captain's Table brought to you by NVIDIA.
Yeah.
Green team.
We all get free Titan X
I
cards.
wish.
You can go buy
Boom.
a red team as well. They're just as good. The 480 is a good card as well. It's a little bit cheaper. Don't shake
They
your
all
head. I'm
have
trying to
they
be
all have their
positive.
own problems. I think the 480 is a good card. It's a bit cheaper, but it has its problems. Just like the
Did they-
1070.
Did they put out a patch so it quit burning motherboards?
That was
Yeah,
like fucking
that's
6
one of the
months
problems.
ago.
But like that's the thing is that's one of those issues that each side have their own
Okay.
issues that they're unique, and AMD also always has the issues with the heat, and NVIDIA always has the problems with it's just going to break or just.
I'm an
isn't worth
NVIDIA
it.
fanboy. That's why I don't mess with AMD.
So the next question is from Her Ice. Do we expect subscription at some point for the MMO? How will it make
No.
money on this? The game sounds like it would require a lot of upkeep, making more than ship
No, they promised that wouldn't be a thing.
No. There was a thread on Reddit about this, and it was just an upstanding nope.
Yep.
No.
The game will sustain itself.
Microtransactions possibly,
Exactly.
but not.
Yeah, you will be able to buy UEC in game for those guys that don't play for 6 months and they want to come back and they just want to blow some money and have fun.
In
They'll
fact,
be
you
able-
can already.
Yeah.
Right,
If you
you
want
can
to.
buy credit, and that's just it. So, and I do think there's a limit on how much you can buy at what
Per day.
time, so that you can't.
150,000 is
like-
the limit, and
Right.
20
So
something.
like Puff Daddy can't come in and break the game and buy Interest and just
Right.
crash it into some guy's ship.
Yeah, it's
Next question.
Yeah, they'll once the economy's in, they'll set the limits. I know we have a limit right now, but that's really arbitrary.
and
Yeah, it's for backing purposes. It's so that you can support the game, really.
Yeah.
And they've also said just straight up that what they're planning on doing is in the long run is that's what they're planning on right now. And if they need to introduce some other concepts, they're gonna look into it. But like I'm sure they'll do things like be able to produce custom skins for ships or icons for your ships or all those kind of things, which you'll have to pay for in some way, shape, or form. And look at games like CS:GO with its skins and stuff like that, but or like Team Fortress with its hats. Like you can go pretty far with similar systems.
And I'm fine with cosmetics.
Yeah,
You know what? I've been playing Rocket League. They give us free maps, and people just buy all the little crazy skins for cars. Gives you no advantage. You know, if that's how they got to get their money for their servers, I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
Yep. And cosmetics is the way to go.
And the cosmetics things is that this game is going to be so in depth and so immersive. Its focus is immersion. Its focus is we're going to immerse you in this universe that you're going to want to customize the interior of your freelancer because it's your freelancer. It's not Gray's freelancer. It's not Geo's freelancer. It's your freelancer, and it's going to look different.
I'm kind of half hoping that's done by UEC, but also I can see some grounds for microtransactions.
No,
if it keeps the game
I think
running.
there should be
let's say.
basics with UEC, but like there's a difference between say colors and like having colors to paint your ship, and then having patterns on your ship. I like the idea of having like the skins being patterns that will be unique patterns.
I did have the idea of having your organization logo be a paid thing, but actually, nah, I don't.
I like that.
I don't think that's a good idea.
I like personal or organizational.
Yeah, the whole B.
Yeah, I like the
C,
idea, but paying for it.
I think paying for it would be great because like if I want to put Test Squadron on my ship, then I should have to pay a little bit of money for a Test Squadron logo that I can put on.
If it's a one-time purchase, sure.
Yeah, one-time purchase. Yeah.
Yeah.
For all ships, hopefully.
And that's the thing. If it doesn't give you an advantage, it don't give you an advantage,
it
it helps support the game. I'm all for the cosmetics.
Yeah, so long as it doesn't break. That's the only things you'd have to work about. Like people will put like the UNSC logo in games. Like no, you can't do that because
that's spoilers on the edge of the ship.
Well, I mean, like things that will literally like set them up for lawsuits. Like putting in like the Federation logo in the game. They can't do that because it'll
right. Well, let the artwork go through CIG, let them approve it, and then let it be purchasable.
Which that's been talked about since the get-go, like CIG supporting the mod community. So I'm sure that's going to be a real thing.
I think Arcade did that. You can buy a dye thing. You make your logo in-game. You can buy, or you can upload an image. You buy a dye thing, and you can use that to apply it to your ship. And it just has to be checked by staff. If you put something inappropriate, they take it. That's it.
Yeah, Battlefield 4 does that. You can draw anything you want, and people have drawn. I mean, I've seen tons of stuff, and all that happens is people just click report, and the dude loses the ability to make an icon for the next 18 years or whatever. So
man, if Butts LOL gets reported, I'm going to be so upset.
All right, next question comes from.
Quick question, like Green Fox. What else do you think they should do if they shouldn't do microtransactions? Because that's like the safest bet with the skins instead of us paying for servers with a subscription. I think that's like the best route. I can't think of anything else.
I think the microtransactions are going to be just the UEC chits that you've been able to buy, and then everything will be able to be bought with that. Because Chris Roberts has said from the get-go that nothing that you can buy, you can't also earn in the game. So,
I also think that
the
subscription program that exists now will eventually transform into an optional subscription program for the game, where you get some flair that nobody else can get.
It's already like that.
It already
it's already like that,
Zerk,
because you get wrecked too now. I'm sure that'll change to UEC when the time comes.
Maybe some small stipend of UEC. Yeah, so and then it's an completely optional program. It's not required.
It could be like a pension, basically.
Yeah, or you invest like a war bonds or something like that. Like it's a war bond program.
I will keep subscribing if they keep the little flare things going.
Yeah, I love the little
just
things.
For decorations.
Yeah, and I love doing.
I have a cactus.
That's
it.
Yeah.
They're not going to keep selling ships. They said, guys.
Yeah.
But what we know for right now, that's what they said. But that could change.
All right, so
I
we've
wouldn't
only
be
got about
against it,
7 minutes
to be
left,
honest.
guys. So we're going to do some lightning rounds. So be very quick. I'm going to try to do my best to answer all these questions, guys. But if we don't get to them, that's kind of how it happens. What planet do you want to visit most, and why? Tara, because it's cool.
Whoops, that's from me. I want to go to that planet that has gigantic waves.
Nemo. It's called
That's
Nemo.
the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The one that's split in half. The one that
How are they
was
gonna do
cut
it?
by the Shuri just talked about it on the last one.
In
The planet-
Inferno or whatever it's called.
Oh, I'll have to go check that out
I
then.
forget the name of it. Anyways, it was like a planet killing. Anyways, I'm getting off topic, but you know the planet I'm talking about,
Yeah.
the one that's in pieces. Next question.
Yeah. Next question is from Jiru. What do you think the concept of Star Citizen is too complex for the mass media? No. Simple.
Next question.
Life in space. That's all it is. Your space fantasies. That's it.
900 years in the future.
Yep.
Yep. But not too futuristic.
The Knight Rider asks, question, Bennu Merchantman, could this be a ship being worked on by UK? Picks screen caps from ATV 100 Part 2 and is an image. Possibly.
It needs to be,
I don't know.
because if cargo's coming, all like of the trade ship, we need to dedicate one dedicated trade ship. And I would pick the Merchantman over the whole series because everyone's been begging for that ship.
Yeah, the whole series is just a big semi truck.
Yeah.
The Bandu
hull's
Merchantman
easy
is
to
a
build.
flying damn marketplace.
The problem is the
Have to
hull
design 'em.
series is super easy to build. So I would say the hull's coming up first, and the BMM is. I still don't think I'm going to see one for years.
Here's the thing about the BMM. They have to make the BMM because it's the base model for all the Bandu ships to come out. Because we know there's more than just the Bandu Merchantmen and the Bandu fleets. So there
Yeah,
needs
it's
to be
the style
more
guide.
fleet. So that style guide, it's going to be the style guide for the rest. So that's probably the reason why we'd see it before we see maybe even the hulls, because the hulls
they can
are done.
They can do all the art and make a gray box and not launch it if that's
True.
what
Like,
they need.
Look at the gray box of the Crucible. It wasn't gray box. It was pretty much entirely gray box when they sold it in concept. But we still haven't heard about it since then. Next question comes from Technowolf. Are you ready for Carrick hype? 4 more months to try and get it in before year's up.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean it's going to be the next ship after the Caterpillar. So
Yeah.
makes sense.
Oh, I'm definitely thirsty for Eric. God, that ship's beautiful.
I
Commander
bought it on
Z-Man,
original concept, so
Commander Z-Man, has Nubifire made an appointment with a proctologist to get those trees removed from his anus?
Giggity.
Get it? Your
well,
anus?
we do have universal healthcare in Canada, so yeah,
Trees in your
make a
anus.
phone call.
Oh. 6 Foot Turkey asks, how important will it be for CIG to allow you to not download the mid-high quality texture packs on release? Incremental patching won't help someone trying to download a 100 gigabyte patch on day one.
Jesus.
I think, honestly, it's probably a good idea to have the patches work in the same way that, like, where you can say, oh, you can download standard definition, 4K, 8K, and whatever, 24K, whatever the heck the resolutions they have. Have those different versions that you can download so you have the different options. Because there's other games that do that all the time. Kerbal Space Program did that for a while, and others that did it in terms of, like, the difference between a 32 and 64-bit EXE. So I think it's important. Because that could be the difference between someone downloading a 100 gigabyte patch and a 30 gigabyte or 30 gigabyte download.
Or they could make it. This is okay. We're getting off on a tangent. You could say, no CIG. I want you to go get me a 100 or 1 terabyte hard drive and email me the cab files, or not email. Physically mail it
Yeah.
because you can't put it on disk. That's messy, and that's like a whole different discussion. But
Yeah.
that's another option.
At one point, there was a discussion with INN of a giant kind of lend-lease program with Star Citizen where they would send out a SSD that would have Star Citizen in it, and these people would pay for Star Citizen, and then they would send a SSD with some money, and then that person would then use that money to pay for postage, and then send that SSD to the next person in Australia, and then that SSD would go around all of the different homes that purchase Star Citizen.
That'd be
and
cool.
then
It'd be like a game cartridge.
yeah.
Yeah. What about a thumb drive?
Thumb drive.
No,
There's no
thumb
big
drive-
enough.
not big enough.
A
Well,
gigantic
I'm talking
thumb drive.
for installation. Like you have an installation disc.
Yeah.
There's 100 gig, 200 gig thumb drives. You buy the game, you get a thumb drive, you plug it in, and it puts the base game, and then you might have to update it when you launch. But
Yeah.
Yeah. So
My friend
that's
and I did that at school with Armour. We put mods on it and go around, give it to everyone.
And even Windows 10 comes on a stick now.
Yeah.
Like you don't
get
so
a stick.
that's probably what that to me. I think that would be good. Now you're going to be paying for the drive, but then again, this is like 2 years from now, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, even now, I went out and looked at a 100 gigabyte flash drive at Target. It was $50, $60,
right?
Which was pretty.
And if they
cheap
bought them
for
in
that.
bulk,
yeah.
If they bought like 1 million of them, because they're selling 1 million copies,
Constellation USB stick.
Yeah, that would be it.
put the game on it.
Perfect.
That's what the original concept was. That was the original concept, was put the game on the Constellation USB stick. That was the idea.
stick.
Yeah, I got the
And then put it
256 gig
in
SD.
your bum, so you've got to go to the proctologist. Good question, boys. By the way, about the trees.
Well, it's because you made that comment about trees on Uranus.
I know trees on Uranus.
All righty, guys. So we're gonna have to wrap this up because we've got about a minute left. Let's go around and people can talk about, say who they are, and then we can move on. So starting with the Nubifier. Who are you? Where can they find you?
So I'm a redacted YouTuber. I don't stream, but I build no bullshit content for you guys. I try to take what's important and make it in 3 minutes or less. So obviously I would very much like you to subscribe because I'm trying to grow my channel. I'm working on a dead room video right now. The room that I'm standing in right now, that room is finished and it's going to get its own video. Dual Warthog. So left-handed version of this thing is coming in the next week. I'm going to make a video about how to easily join parties because it's not hard, but if you're new, it's a pain in the butt. And more voice packs. Vasco, whoever wins this giveaway, whisper me please and send me your email and I'll make that happen. Salute. Next.
Cool.
All right. Next person is Greg. Tell us who are you? Where can they find you?
A gray-headed gamer. I'm on the YouTubes and the Twitters. Follow me on Twitter at grayheaded gamer. That's GRAY because I always post there before I stream. Saturday nights, Not So Sober Saturday on Twitch TV/grayheaded gamer. And tonight, Zerker's going to be on. We're going to be talking all about this German crap that's going on, so we can like really dive into it and show pictures and be all like But yeah, gray-headed gamer everywhere. Basically, I suck.
Next question is Terrellian. This person's quite Terrellian. Who are you? Where can they find you?
Well, I'm a cryo-engineer. I do the cryo-engineer things and make stuff. I can be found on YouTube and Twitter at Terrellian Official for most places and at Terrellian for Twitter. I also stream now and then, and I'm hosting a show called the Star Citizen Lounge, which will be beginning 1 hour from now, actually, on my channel on here. So I'll be joined by Mac Incorporated. Last time we had the stream, it wasn't super great. It was a bit messy, but we've got it together, and I think this is going to be really cool. So we're going to be digging into that new content that just came out, showing off a bunch of teasers for for Omega Team. Some CryEngine stuff, and we're going to be talking about Jean content as well, or Xian, or Xian, however else you want to pronounce it. So come join us 1 hour from now.
Alrighty. Next person is Z-Man. Z-Man, please tell us, who are you? Where can they find you?
I am Commander Z-Man, former moderator, or always a longtime moderator around these parts on Twitch. I do a daily stream Monday through Friday, 12:30 till 2 p.m. That's Eastern time. We're called the Zulu Group over there. My channel, twitch.tv/Commander_Z-Man. Check me out. We do $10 RSI gift card daily, pretty much every day we stream, and we stream Star Citizen content exclusively.
Excellent. And then Gio, who are you? Where can they find you?
You'll get money everywhere. Twitter's temporarily down because for whatever reason they said there was some activity on my account. It looks so I'm about to have my account for a couple of days, hopefully. But you can find me, Gio, get money everywhere.
Excellent. And I am, of course, if you're a humble host and space bartender, Paul Berserker 1 Batman Shelley. You can find us here every Saturday at 3 o'clock. Now, that may be changing here in the near future, and I do have an exciting announcement for the next cast. We will be having the one, the only, Captain Xylo on this on the 30th.
Gross.
Yeah, I know. CIG staff. We're going to do some special things like ask him nothing about Star Citizen. No questions about Star Citizen whatsoever will be asked on that cast. And we will simply talk about barbecue. It will become the captain's barbecue table for the entire day. That's how it's going to happen.
I'm not going to miss that one.
Are we going to do a shout out to Ben Lesnick in the hospital?
And yes, Ben Lesnick. Last time we've heard, he was doing better. But all of us here at the captain's table hope Ben gets better. You know, big wishes from everyone in the Star Citizen community. We're very, very passionate about everyone who works on this game, and even the community members if they get hurt. And you know, same thing happened with Domo when he went for surgery. Everyone's very, very concerned and very, very hoping for the good things. So here's to hoping, Ben, that you get better. Thanks for sticking with us. And from all of us here, we all hope to see you again soon. But if we don't,
hold the raffle.
Oh, the raffle! Before I do
risk
this,
it.
Danger helmet. Yes.
Danger raffle.
All right. So the winner is please do message the Noobifier, him. All right. And if you hit the pod follow, you see that his name. You can be able to send messages. And the winner is. Oh no, he's not online. So I'm going to
The Noobifier wins.
It's rigged already.
Rigged.
Totally rigged.
Okay, we're going to redo this.
Probably Proxys or Xylo.
Yeah.
Calandros.
Hey!
Calandros, longtime
Double rigged.
fan. Double rigged. Calandros, please send... is he here? Yeah, he's here. All right, so send the Noobifier information, and he will get you... It's the Noobifier 1337. Talk to him. He'll let you know what you can do.
Just typed in chat.
So, the rest of you guys, please do have a good day. We hope to see you all again soon here at the Captain's Table and all of our channels and YouTubes. But if we don't, we hope to see you someday in the black. Have a good day, guys.
Ciao.